Hello and welcome to Workhorse Wrestling Network. You are gathered with us this fine Saturday morning, afternoon in some places, for a premium live event. PLE.
Yes. This is King of the Ring. It's 7 p.m. right now in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, so it's nighttime for them. It is morning on my side here on the West Coast. It's 9 a.m. Apparently, they're doing a 2-hour countdown show. It's always confusing here, especially when they're overseas in a totally different time zone. I kept seeing everywhere that the main card started at 9. That we had a little discrepancy this morning about whether it started at 9 or 8 or 9 or 10. I'm sorry, that it started at 10 my time, and then we saw that it maybe started at 9. So needless to say, we're here. They're doing a 2-hour countdown show, it appears. So we do have one more hour of the countdown show, but there is a match on the countdown show for the women's tag team titles. Jade and Bianca versus Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell, so at least we'll get a match at some point. And I guess we can talk about the main card until then, or whatever.
I suppose we could talk about Enter the Square Circle too.
Could talk about that too. Anika should be here at some point. I don't know if she'll be here. She might not be here till the main card starts, but at some point we should have Anika as well. So if you're here with us, thanks for joining us for your watch-alongs. We know you got a lot of options, so thanks for choosing Workhorse. If you're new, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button on this video, and yeah, let's get ready to watch some WWE.
Should we tell them what we got planned coming up?
If you want to, sure, go ahead.
All right. Well, tomorrow is the Women's Rumble. Next week, we have night one of the pay-per-view Not of Champions, which currently the plan is to do live. Like, unless something serious happens, like, we will be doing that live for everybody on Sunday. We will pre-record the following week, night two of Not of Champions. And following that, we have one-on-one bouts to name who will be going into
the winners go into Money in the Bank. The losers go into the Elimination Chamber.
Yes.
Money in the Bank, the winner will have a opportunity at the main title, and the Elimination Chamber winner will have an opportunity at the mid-card. Mid-card?
Yeah.
Is that right? Yeah, at the mid-card title.
There's no mid-card women's champion, so we just chose who we wanted for those matches.
Correct.
Would you like to name the competitors? Should I name them?
Yeah, I mean, if you have them, go ahead and name them. I got to find my piece of paper. I mean, I have them somewhere. I just don't. But if you know them off the top of your head or you have them right away, go ahead.
Well, I don't have them off the top of my head or have them right away.
Are we talking about women or men's?
Women will be easier for me to find. Men will be harder for me.
Well, the men that we had, you had. So in the qualifying matches, it is. Let's see here. How do we do this? These are the competitors, not the matchups. Your people in the qualifying matches. The winner goes to Money in the Bank for a shot at the Money in the Bank briefcase for a future title shot at the heavyweight championship or the world title, whatever you want to call it. And then the losers go to the Elimination Chamber for the winner of the Elimination Chamber gets a shot at the mid-card championship. So you had, for those 6 qualifying matches, you had Sami Zayn, Jey Uso, LA Knight, Bray Wyatt, Sheamus, and Damian Priest. I had Bronson Reed, Jimmy Uso, Gunther, Baron Corbin, AJ Styles, and Braun Breaker. I'm trying to see here. The matches were I'm trying to remember how they matched up now. I don't remember exactly how they matched up. You did the dice numbers. Do you remember how they matched up? Tell people what the actual 6 matches were.
No, I do not.
All right. Well, that'll be a surprise for everybody. So check that out. But those are the 12 competitors. So, um, and then after that, what are we doing next?
There's also the women. I'm
Uh,
looking for it, but I can't find it.
I have so for the women elimination chamber, Sammy has Rhea, Bianca, and Asuka. I have Charlotte, Jade, and Bailey. And a backup for some reason if Jade is not available, but I'm pretty sure she is. I have Tiffany Stratton as backup. And then that's for the elimination chamber. And then the women's money in the bank, Sammy has Io Sky, Alexa Bliss, and Kyrie Sane. If Kyrie's not available for whatever reason, Liv Morgan as a backup. ALW has Naomi, Nia Jax, and Roxanne Perez. So, are we gonna? Those are gonna be the Money in the Bank and the Elimination Chamber. Are we doing those in separate weeks? Individual episodes, just those matches in separate weeks, or are we doing them?
Yeah, we'll do
Are
the
we
two
doing
Money in the Banks, men and women, and the two Elimination Chamber men and women.
Okay.
So 2 weeks. I
All
figured it's
right.
better having the Elimination Chambers together and the Money in the Banks together than it is to do the men together and then do the women together.
Yep, yep. All right. So to bring us kind of back to what we're doing here, which is this King of the Ring tournament. Apparently, not apparently, we have Cody versus Logan Paul tonight. They're talking about that right now on the Countdown show. Just give me a percentage. Does Logan have any chance of winning? Is it 0% or is it? Does he have any percentage? I mean, I see it as a zero, just because Cody just barely won those titles and Logan already has all those things. I mean, I think it's a zero. But what do you think?
I think it's a zero as well. I think he had a bit of a chance, like 5%, when his title was on the line. But now that his title's not on the line, it feels pretty straightforward. Yeah, Logan's losing this.
Yeah, I agree. It's just to me, this seems like some of the issues that I have sometimes with wrestling in general. Granted, I'm not backstage, so even though we all know it's predetermined, I don't obviously know who's been predetermined to win, but it feels like I do, and that kind of takes some of the air out of the sails. Part of my issue, sometimes it feels too predictable. I mean, obviously we don't know what's going to happen, but it feels pretty predictable.
Yeah, I definitely feel that. I mean, it could be worse, but not by much.
It could always be worse, I suppose. That's true. Hey, what's up, Lou? Are you going to actually come on, sir, and join us live or no? He was considering it. That's right. Scissor Gang. He was considering maybe coming on at one point. We'll see if maybe he actually joins us on the stream. I did send you the link, sir, in Discord if you're interested. Yep. So Corey Graves is interviewing Cody Rhodes right now.
So
let's see.
I've been laying in bed a lot the last couple days, watching Miyazaki films and watching House.
Yep. Yeah, you said you were watching House. What is House on? Is House on
Peacock?
What stream? It's on Peacock. That's a show I've seen several isolated episodes here and there, but never the whole show. So
I think it's the best medical drama ever made, and I wish that they would reboot it. I was actually thinking about it, of who I would cast to play House if they were to reboot it.
That's one of the problems. Like, I don't have a problem with rebooting stuff as long as it's done well, but some things I think are kind of untouchable. And Hugh Laurie's such a great actor that it has to be someone incredible, because if it's not, it's going to pale in comparison. And honestly,
I can only think of one name.
Many actors. There's not many actors that are as good as him. So what name are you thinking?
Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose I can see that. I'm not sure that Ryan Reynolds wants to do long-term TV like that. I mean, that I don't know.
That's the problem.
But
I think he might be the only person who could do it.
But I mean, he definitely has that kind of arrogant, snarky personality to him. He does that very well, which is something that's a hallmark of House. So I could see that. I mean, he definitely fits it in that context. I'd have to see him do it. I mean, it's one of those things where you kind of have to see. People are always like, "Well, what do you think about so and so doing something such?" And you could kind of make a guess of what it might look like, but it's so hard to tell until you actually see somebody do something, and then you make a judgment. Because it's not always. I mean, it also has to be written well, right? I mean, assuming that you have different writers and all that kind of stuff. The show
I
was
would assume
extremely well
that they
written
would bring
too,
back
so
the same writer.
it's not just how well it could be. Acted, by somebody else. That part could be played by somebody else, but the writing has to be equally as good. If you can't get the same writer, even if you can't get the same writer, some people are never able to duplicate what they've done before. I mean, it just.
The show he did most recently, I didn't like as much as House. The Good Doctor.
Is that the writer you're talking about? The
Yeah.
creator or writer?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He made House.
That's the autistic doctor?
Yes.
Yeah, like I said, I've seen less episodes of that than I have of House, but I've probably only seen 3 or 4 episodes of that ever. So, and I don't know that I ever watched the whole episode from beginning to end. Even
I saw the first season. I did watch the whole first season.
Uh-huh.
And I've seen like 2 or 3 episodes after that. I think they've done 4 seasons of it. I've seen like 2 or 3 episodes of later episodes, but I watched the entire first season.
Hospital, doctor shows, those shows are very popular.
Mm-hmm.
They always seem to have staying power.
You got like Grey's Anatomy, Chicago Med, New Amsterdam.
Yeah, Grey's Anatomy's been on forever. I mean, that's been on for a long time now.
Is it still on?
I'm not sure. It might be over now, but it was on for like 15 years. If it's not, I mean, if it's still not going, I mean, it might.
General Hospital was a big one. George Clooney.
Yep.
That was back when I was a kid.
Is that ER?
I thought that was General Hospital. Was that ER?
No, General Hospital is a soap opera.
Oh, ER.
ER. I think it was ER that George Clooney was on, if I'm not mistaken. I never really watched hospital shows like that, so I mean, I don't know for sure, but I think it was ER that he was on. Man, General Hospital is like the 50-year-old the daytime soap opera that's been on for like 50 years. But hey, lots of people watch that too. It's the reason it's been on for 50 years. So
my mother used to love her soaps.
Yep, I used to watch them with my mom too when I was a little kid, and my grandma too. So I'm not gonna lie, I watched them for a little while in my 20s, and then when I was an adult, just because it was habit from watching them with my parents, and then obviously once I don't watch them anymore. But Dominic is backstage talking to Liv Morgan.
Championship.
Are you ahead or behind me? Because I got Kevin Owens talking to Caleb Braxton.
I don't know. I mean, I'm live, so I think I'm probably ahead of you.
46-23.
I'm at 109.09. So you should be able to hit your live button. There should be a live option or move your thing forward.
I believe I'm ahead of you. I'm at 46 minutes until start.
Oh, okay. It doesn't show what I'm at till start. I'm at 110.18, 110.20, and it says 7 hours total on the show on the Peacock stream.
Yeah, so I'm like 4 minutes ahead of you.
Okay. But you didn't see Dominic and Liv. Kevin Owens came before Dominic and Liv. So how could I be seeing Dominic and Liv when you were seeing KO? And you're ahead of me.
Well, I assumed because I wasn't paying attention because I was talking to you.
Oh, okay. It's interesting how we can both be live and you can still be ahead of me. It always amazes me. Now I've got KO a second time. Well, he's been out the whole time, but they switched off of him for the Liv Dominic segment backstage and then a little Liv video package.
Yeah. So my timer's at 1:15.
Yeah, I'm at 1:15. Yeah, I'm at like 1:15 something, 25 or something.
Okay, so we should be about even then.
Yes, sir.
Another one I really enjoyed, Scrubs.
Oh yeah, Scrubs is a quality show. That's a great show.
But that's
I do watch.
for comedy. Like if we're doing serious, then I got to go with House.
Yeah. Now for comedy, there's a lot of shows that I like. I watch a lot of the not older, maybe older, sometimes newer. It just depends. Sitcoms over again after they're off the air. They all make me laugh. Most of them make me laugh. I love Modern Family. I like the Goldbergs. Um, I've been watching Fresh Off the Boat again, which is hysterical.
So I was thinking about comedy movies the other day.
Comedy what?
Movies. And like there's good action comedies and there's good romantic comedies. But I can't really name a comedy that doesn't have either action or romance in it.
Yeah, I mean, those are. I mean, usually a love story and or some sort of action are the premise of every movie in some way, shape, or form. I mean, you got to have that to create some
Yeah,
sort of something. I mean,
thanks.
periodically you get a show, a movie like I'm trying to think of one. I mean, I can't even put my fingers on one that I think is even because even like the ones that are like as pure kind of comedy as you can get, they all still have some sort of action or romance in them at all. I mean, I mean, I don't even know what you think of as when you think of like pure comedy movies, but like,
But like
I mean,
Coming to America, like there's action and romance in it. Like
absolutely, 100%, 100%. I mean, comedy's so subjective, so it depends on like what you consider actual comedy and stuff. But yeah, I mean, I mean, any of the actors that out there that do comedy, I mean, if you're a Will Ferrell fan, all of his movies have some sort of action in them at some point or something. I mean, he's doing something. There's a premise or a love story. Same with like
yes,
Adam Sandler, or there's always something going on. I mean,
like there's
yeah,
plenty of romantic subplot to Step Brothers,
sure, absolutely,
and a
100%.
bit of action too when they fight those kids on the playground.
When they fight each other. I mean, there's
Mm-hmm.
a fair amount of action. There's several fight scenes between them. There's fight scenes between the parents and them, between the brother when he punches what the brother Brendan. Oh, what the fuck is his brother's name? Now I'm drawing a blank on his brother's name. He punches him in the face.
I
Uh,
remember Brendan.
Derek. He
Derek.
punches
Okay.
Derek in the face. Yeah. Um, so no, I mean that's one of those where like that's a really classic comedy, but they still have to have other shit. There's romance and whatchamacallit, action, both of them in that movie. So
Um, the closest I can think is Monty Python.
yeah, I mean,
There's a little bit of action, but like there's hardly any.
I believe the main card starts at 10 o'clock my time or Eastern Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. So about 40 minutes or so, I think the main card starts. So
Lou, can
yeah,
you help
no,
us out?
Monty Python's probably the closest. Now that you mentioned that, it's probably one of the closest. Yeah, I'm Kentucky Fried Movie. You ever seen the Kentucky Fried
I
Movie?
haven't.
That's very old. It's like a sketch movie. It's like a sketch comedy movie kind of where they have like different little sketches that kind of come in and out of each other. Monty Python esque kind of like
Mhm.
that. There's another one too. I'm trying to think of what it might be called.
Another movie that came to my mind was Super Bad, but there's plenty of romantic subplot to Super Bad.
Yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, Super Bad. I'm trying to think. Isn't there? There's even some action in that movie, if I'm not
With the
mistaken.
cops.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, those are minor scenes when you consider them action, but I
Oh,
mean,
oh. Jonah Hill's character gets into a fight at a party.
right? Yeah. I was saying. So I was saying. He said he didn't hear us. I said I think it starts at 1 o'clock your time. You're on the east. You're on Eastern Pacific. So yeah, Eastern time. It starts at 1 p.m. So about 40 minutes or so. But we do have one match on the pre-show, which should be happening sometime soon here for the WWF women WWE. Wow, that was a slip of the tongue. WWE Women's Champion. They were showing a flashback on the on the pre-show of when it was WWF, so that's why it threw me off. Jade and Bianca will defend their titles against Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell on the pre-show in a few minutes here. So we'll at least get some match at some point here on the pre-show. It won't just be all talking. Weird Al Yankovic did a movie. Was it called UHF?
I've never seen it. I'd never even heard of it until just now.
So there's a movie called UHF that I think I might be getting them confused. Weird Al Yankovic did a movie, and I don't remember what it was called. Then there was a movie called UHF that I think is similar to the Kentucky Fried Movie, kind of Monty Python-esque, but I could be getting them confused. That could be the name of the Weird Al movie. I could be getting them confused, but yeah, no, I mean, almost every movie has some sort of action or some sort of, love story or romance. I mean,
like one or
which
the
I
other.
think is important, huh?
Like one or the other. Sometimes both, but one or the other.
Yeah. I mean, it's also, it's also in how you define those words, right? I mean, action can be basically anything. It doesn't have to be like violence or a confrontation. I mean, action can be, whatever it is, running to a car in the rain or so. I mean, it can be anything. I mean, it doesn't have to be, So I mean, almost every movie has action in some way, shape, or form. I mean,
The Big Lebowski.
Yeah,
it's got everything.
It does, absolutely. No, I mean that's why it's one of the it's always on the list of great movies. It's I don't know where it goes. I'm not sure, where it goes on the list. I don't know how long the list has to be to put it on there, but it's always on a list. People, it's always on people's best movies list somewhere.
So my dad, he liked action movies, and my mother, she liked dramas.
Yeah, I mean, I like both. I mean, it just depends. For me, I can watch a bad drama before I can watch a bad action film. Bad action really turns me off. Like if it's not, whereas decent drama, I can still kind of meddle my way through it. But if it's really like unbelievable or bad action, like I'm good. Like
I feel the opposite. Like I can watch like a cheesy action movie to where it's like I'm laughing at it.
Right.
But like bad dramas are cringe. They're cringe. Like there's not a better word for it. Like because drama's the whole thing to it, and if you're not buying into the drama of it, then like the movie is a failure. Like
I mean, I've definitely seen a lot of movies where you have good writing and bad acting, or good acting and bad writing. You can have really good performances even in bad films, or vice versa. You can have a really good film with a bad performance by one person where everyone else is really good, or several people are good and several people are bad, but the movie's still good. I mean, it all just depends on, huh?
Have you seen The Room?
I don't think so.
I mean, that's like
off the top of my head.
That's like the quintessential bad drama.
Yeah, it doesn't ring a bell. Is that no? That's A Cell with Jennifer Lopez, right? The Room.
The thing about it is that it's so bad that it becomes entertaining again.
Yeah, I definitely don't think I've seen it. It's a horror movie, right?
No. It's a drama.
Okay.
Starring Tommy Wiseau.
No, I definitely haven't seen it.
James Franco made a movie about the making of the movie.
Yes, I've seen that.
Okay.
I've seen that. But I haven't seen the original. I did see the making of that. So that's why it sounds familiar. Okay, yes. I saw James Franco's movie, but I didn't see the original now. I didn't really care for the James Franco movie. I thought it was kind of boring and dull. I mean, it was okay, but Orton versus Gunther in the King of the Ring finals. Who do you think ends up being King of the Ring?
I'm rooting for Orton. Do I think Orton's going to win? I can't say, but I'm going to be rooting for him. Orton versus
I
Cody at SummerSlam, that's money. That's a main event.
I love it for Gunther just because I feel like.
Well, the thing is I think Gunther's going to get this opportunity at the title, the pay-per-view immediately after SummerSlam.
Yes.
So, like, if he wins, he's got to win at SummerSlam too.
I agree with that.
Like, Orton can win here and lose at SummerSlam. But Gunther,
Yeah.
if he wins here, he has to win at SummerSlam too.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. I guess I can see that. I just feel like some of it is just his longevity. I feel like we've just been there and done that with Randy in every kind of capacity already over his last 20 years of wrestling, that it's like.
That's a problem when you start wrestling so young, huh?
It is. Yeah. I mean, when you've been at the top for so long, right? I mean.
It's like some dudes, they've been here 5 years, but they're the same age as Randy.
Right. Yeah. And again, like a lot of dudes, they have to kind of move. And Randy had to kind of grow up a little in the ring, but he became a main event superstar very quick and very early. So he's been on TV in the main event picture for a long, 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 long time. A lot of guys have to go really through the mid card and kind of toil a little and do a lot of stuff before they ever hit that main event scene, So they've already been wrestling 10, 12 years before they hit the main event scene. I think Orton was wrestling, 3 or 4 years, maybe at most, at least in WWE, before he really hit that main event scene, if that long. I mean, maybe even less time than that.
He got his first world title like 2 years in.
So there you go. So perfect example.
He was 24. That was 20 years
perfect
ago.
Example. So just in that regard, even though Gunther's probably older, he might not be older than Randy Orton, but he's got to be at least comparable age-wise. He feels so much newer just in watching him wrestle and all the things he's doing that.
He beat Benoit
feels
at
like new blood.
He beat Benoit at SummerSlam, I believe, in Benoit's hometown.
So
everybody was like, "Oh, Randy's losing." Then Randy won, became the youngest world champion in history. And it's like, wait, what? What?
And that's the real reason why. I mean, that's really the only reason that I'm interested in Gunther winning, just because it feels kind of new and someone who still has stuff to kind of achieve and things to prove. And Randy Orton's already done and proved it all. I mean, there isn't much more to do. I mean. But it should be a hell of a match, though.
Mm-hmm.
It should be a really good match. I mean, it has the potential to be maybe the best match on the card. I mean, I like Big E on the commentary or at the pre-show table. I wish they'd give him some time at the announce table during shows.
Right.
But that would be cool. But short of that, I do like seeing him at least involved. I like hearing him talk. He's got a lot of good things to say. Smart dude, knows the wrestling game a lot well, and always has good things to say.
A perfect commentary team. Joey Styles, Big E, CM Punk.
I don't know about
CM Punk being heel.
Yeah, I'm not a CM Punk fan, so.
But if he's being an asshole, he's great at being an asshole. Like.
Yeah, I just think he's an overrated talker, even when.
Well, we could take Corey Graves.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you do need some sort of heel announcer, I suppose.
There's not that many of them.
There's not that many of them out there. There aren't too many.
Drama King.
Who?
Aiden English. I'm trying to think of his
Matthew Raywalt.
Yeah, Raywalt.
Yeah. In TNA.
He does a great job.
I agree. He is. He's definitely fun. The guy that did Evolve, Lenny Leonard, the guy that did Evolve, is amazing. He's not doing anything anymore at the moment, but he's amazing. I don't know why he's not working with someone, but he's one of my favorites.
Nigel McGuinness has been doing a good job as well with AEW.
Now Nigel's a good heel. I enjoy Nigel. He's a good heel announcer. I like Nigel better than Corey Graves. I'm the biggest Corey Graves fan. I mean, I think he's okay, but I don't think he's great. Hold on for just one sec. I'll be right back.
I mean, WWE's entire announce team is kind of mid. Like, there's really no real standouts. Like, I mean, the best that they got is Michael Cole and Pat McAfee. Like, that's the best they have on hand. And both of them work babyface. So you got the heel commentators on Raw and the babyface commentators on SmackDown. I don't know how they.
Yeah, and I don't like Michael Cole. I actively dislike Michael Cole.
Yeah, a lot of people do.
I mean, there are times that he's not as obnoxious as others. And over the last year or two, he's been a little less obnoxious than he has been at different times in past in his career.
That's because Vince is gone.
So it is what it is. But I really really hated him when he was, a total asshole a few years ago, and just, yeah.
When that sound clip of Michael Cole leaked, where he was talking to Vince on the headset, he was like, "Vince, I've said it 7 times. How many times do you want me to say it?"
Right. No, I mean, it's probably better. Obviously, now I assume it's better now that Vince is gone. I hope that who's ever in their heads, be it Triple H or whoever's running those headsets now, is probably better than Vince. But yeah, I mean, that job must have sucked when Vince was in your ear. I mean, there's no way that job.
Big dog, big dog, big dog, big dog, big dog, big dog, big dog. You want me to say it again? Come on.
That job just had to fucking suck with Vince in your ear.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in some respects, it might be a dream job for a lot of people, and irrationally, it kind of is. But rationally, like, I don't think I can handle dealing with that.
That would be a dream job for me. Like that, when I was a kid, I wanted to be JR. I didn't want to be Stone Cold. I wanted to be JR.
Sure. But now, knowing what you would have had to put up with then to do it, like now it might be different. But to have to put up with Vince, like, there's no way. I mean,
I would have quit.
I could never work for a dude like that.
I would have quit.
And we got Randy Orton with Caleb Braxton outside. Where are they? They're in Florida? Oh, they're in Saudi Arabia. I apologize. They're in Saudi Arabia. Outdoors, looking at the beautiful weather and Jeddah scenery.
I'd be sweating my balls off.
All right, here we go. Our one pre-show match is going to get ready to start here in a minute.
Mm-hmm. Bring on the ladies.
Bring on the ladies. What, you give Indy and Candice any percentage of chance of winning? I think it's a 0.
No. Especially on a pre-show match.
On a pre-show, yeah, I agree. And to be fair, I mean, they're only a Frankenstein tag team, but Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae, I know you like Candice LeRae, but in my mind, those two should never, ever, ever be beating a Bianca Belair and a Jade. They just shouldn't. I mean, they're on 2 different levels. I mean, if you have interference and help and some fluky shenanigan type shit, maybe once or twice, but on a general basis, no. If you run this match tag team 10 times, or even if you split this up and ran Candice versus Bianca or Candice versus Jade, and then Indy versus Jade or Indy versus Bianca 10 times, 9 out of 10 times, Jade and Bianca are going to win those matches. At least that's my opinion. Or 8 out of 10 times.
Yeah, okay. That's what I was thinking, 8 out of 10.
Yeah. which is a little bit unfortunate. It feels like there's, kind of the top and then a steep drop off, especially when it comes to the women's tag team division. But what are you going to do? It is what it is. You only got the tag teams you've got. So, and, if you're going to put some victories under the reign of Bianca and Jade, this is a solid jobber, worker tag team for them to get a victory over.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We got confused, and needless to say, we started an hour early. I got confused with the time. Me and Sammy were talking about it, and I got confused, or whatever the case may be, so we started early. But
I didn't think that they were doing a 2-hour countdown show, so I was like,
so cool. We'll see you in just a little bit. We're excited to have you.
You're just missing Jade and Bianca.
Just missing Jade and Bianca.
Just missing Jade and Bianca.
I get it. Like, in my opinion, Indy and Candice, whether you think it's right or wrong, probably belong or are okay for the pre-show. I do feel some sort of way that the women's tag team championships are on the pre-show, and that they're being held currently by two of probably the biggest women's stars in your company, and that's on the pre-show. Like, that's a little weird to me, but okay.
Like, if the two of them aren't in the top 5, they're at least in the top 10.
Yeah, no doubt. And I mean, Bianca's probably number 1 or number 2 behind Rhea, depending on, what, your personal opinion.
In my book, yeah.
And Jade is somewhere there, and the only reason she's probably lower down is just because she hasn't had the opportunity in WWE to prove herself yet. So
it makes it hard to put her above, like, a Becky Lynch or a Charlotte Flair, because
it does.
They've done that.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you can put Bianca above them because Bianca's also been there and done that.
I agree.
She's done it more recently.
And even though we've seen Jade kind of do it in AEW, it still wasn't. A lot of those wins were over, infinitely inferior competition. A lot of those were, I don't want to say just squash matches, because they weren't all squash matches, but a fair amount of those 55 or 60 wins that she got during that title run were not very impressive title defenses either. So,
like, 30% of her matches was a solid opponent. The other 70 wasn't.
Yeah, people that she should be beating. I mean, that's why they did it like that. I mean, they wanted to give her that appearance of being unbeatable and indestructible and all those kind of things, So,
but occasionally you got your Athenas, you got your Thunder Rosas, your Nyla Roses, your,
for sure,
Taya Valkyrie.
Yeah. Yep.
Like, she had big matches. It's just, that was like 30% of the time. Would fans be happier if, like, she had half the number of matches and 30% were big matches and 20% were the lesser ones?
I mean, clearly without going, as far as they did in WCW with Goldberg, I mean, that's clearly what Tony was trying to do. Give her that kind of Goldberg-esque feel to her, where she just comes out and beats everybody, goes on this amazing run, which is fine. I mean, me personally, yes. I mean, if she had 25 wins with that title or 25 victories and 20 of those 25 were 10-plus minute matches that were all high-quality matches, I would prefer that over 60 where 40 of them are 2 or 3 minute matches or 4 minute matches where, there's really no competition. But it is what it is. I mean, they wanted to present her in that way, and we'll see. I mean, she may not have been good enough at that time to give us a lot of 10-plus minute matches. I mean, she's still learning. I mean, so, I don't know. I mean, maybe that's part of the reason why they did what they did with her, too. I mean,
because all those matches help build her up and give her experience, not just, pad her record, but also allow her.
Exactly. Yeah, and Blue says Jade and Bianca could legitimately beat up everyone in that building. Yeah, probably so. Ooh, Jade with the huge follow-away slam. Indy is hurting. Jade and Bianca out here in matching gear. Hartwell and Candice LeRae in matching gear too. I mean, to be fair, they've been the family and a tag team and kind of a group together for a while, but I don't ever remember seeing them wrestle in actual like gear that looks the same like that. Not Indian Candice. Jade and Bianca look great in their pink outfits.
You excited for the Wyatt Six?
I don't know. Yes and no. I mean, I'm excited about what I think it could potentially be, and at the same time, none of the members really move the needle individually for me all that much. And I was never the biggest Bray Wyatt fan to begin with. So I don't know. At this point, I'm kind of lukewarm. I'm not sure. What about you?
I'm excited for it. I mean, because like all the people I feel like are people that haven't really gotten opportunities. Well, aside from one of them has gotten plenty of opportunities, but all the others have not. Like Joe Gacy, Dexter Loomis, Bo Dallas, Eric Rowan. Like these are people who have. Well, Bo Dallas held a singles title in NXT. But aside from that, none of those guys have held singles titles.
Yeah, and unfortunately, kind of in a vacuum, none of them really do a whole lot for me. I mean, I'm not necessarily like anti per se. I don't actively dislike any of them, but they all feel like they're all kind of mid card, just above kind of that jobber tier. They're solid, good hand workers, but none of them, I wouldn't call any of them what I would consider main event guys. I mean, in my opinion, the closest, maybe, I don't even know. I'm not even sure who I think is the closest to a main event guy. I mean, I don't think Bo Dallas is a main event guy. I don't think he's gotten a fair shake. Maybe he just hasn't gotten the right booking. Maybe it just has been a symptom of that. I like Bo Dallas, but he was never as good as Bray. And I don't know. I mean, for me, he doesn't move the needle that much. The name is more exciting because of who he is and where he comes from than I think whatever he actually has produced so far in his career has been, unfortunately. So, when you hear about that and the idea of Uncle Howdy sounds kind of cool, but I don't know. Like I said, I was never the biggest Bray Wyatt fan to begin with, and I didn't necessarily care for a lot of that part of his stuff. So I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I like Dexter Loomis. I think Dexter Loomis is. I think he has the
Formerly
ability.
Samuel Shaw.
I think he has the ability to be better than I think they booked him so far, or shown him so far to be. But I don't know. Other than that, I mean, I'm not sure. If they do it well and it's written well, I mean, if it's good, it's good, and I'll appreciate it. But I'm not overly excited thinking about it. I mean, it's not one of those things that really moves the needle for me. I'm much more excited thinking about when we're going to actually get to see Jacob Fatu. I'm much more kind of curious to see even though I don't care for the bloodline overall, I'm curious to see if we get Thomas Solo, Jacob Fatu, and Zilla at some point as kind of the new bloodline. That does interest me. That moves the needle for me a lot, especially if it's sans Roman. If Roman's not really there, but all the better. I mean, that really moves. So that interests me a lot. Much more than the Wyatt Six.
But the two women in the faction are both former women's tag team champions, former women's world champions. Like,
yeah, I mean, and I even Nikki Cross is probably at the if you have a list of women's names and you classify them, we were to rank them in tiers, champ, mid card. Nikki Cross is probably at the top of that mid card field. Mm-hmm. She's like main event. I mean, she's right there, but where Alexa Bliss is definitely main event.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I like Nikki Cross, but I don't consider her like a Bayley, a Charlotte, a Bianca, Jade.
I like
Where
her
I
when she's not a
do,
superhero.
yeah, she's definitely better when she's not Nikki Ash. That's for sure. That was a terrible gimmick. She's much better. She does a good job at that very crazy, out of control, wild style. That's where she's in her sweet spot. That's
And
where I like her
that's
the most.
exactly what they're going to be doing with her. So,
Yeah. So I mean, in that regard, I mean, like I said, we'll have to see it play out. I mean, it could be fun. I mean, if it's done well, it could be fun. I just personally, when I hear Wyatt 6, I'm not like, oh my god, I can't wait. Like that's just not how I feel about it. So. And I'm not sure why. I don't know if it's just because, like I said, I was never the biggest Bray Wyatt fan. I'm not sure if it's because like a lot of the people in it don't necessarily do a whole lot for me. I'm not sure if it's a combination of both. I don't know. We'll have to see. Some of it has to do with the anticipation. There's been so much talk about the Wyatt Six for so long now that it's been like, well, are we going to shit or get off the pot already? Like, you know what I mean? Like, either do it or don't fucking do it. Like, I mean, there's been talk about it for multiple years. Even when Bray was alive,
mm-hmm.
there was talk about the Wyatt Six and doing it, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, they never did it or they never really did it. And now it's back again. And it's all this like hinting and it's just fucking do it already. Just, you know what I mean? Like,
and basically, like none of the people who were planned for the first
original
version,
Wyatt Six, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
because like they had people who like never debuted that were planned to be in the Wyatt Six. Now those people are gone.
Yeah.
There's also Eric Young. Eric Young was planned for the Wyatt Six, wasn't he?
Let's say that again. Eric Young. Yeah, I believe so. I think so. I think it says, I just need it to happen now. Stop teasing me and just show me. Yeah, that's where I'm at. That's basically where I'm at. Especially because I don't think that the teasing has been all that great. I mean, I don't think that the stuff that's supposed to be the teasing or the leading up to has been all that exciting. So, all right, Jade and
definitely
Bianca
not
get
on
the
the
win.
level of the White Rabbit.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. Jade and Bianca get the win and retain their championships. Or yeah. As we assumed that they would. In a solid match. I'll give Indy and Candice, their credit for giving us a solid match. Again, disappointed that this is on the pre-show just because the women's tag team titles deserve better than that, and Bianca and Jade definitely deserve better than the pre-show, but solid match. Good quality tag team work between the two of them for a Frankenstein team. They seem to work well together.
The combination maneuver there at the end, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They had a few combination maneuvers that I thought looked good and worked well.
Man, Jade makes Bianca look small, though.
She does, which is tough because Bianca's big, too. I mean, they look great.
Man, Jade might be bigger than Montez.
Jade's big. Jade's a big girl. She is a tall woman.
Like, I haven't seen her standing next to Montez, but she might be just a little bit bigger than Montez.
All right. So we've got the last 10 minutes left of the pre-show as we get ready to start the main card. We did just have our one pre-show match. Bianca and Jade retained over Candice and Indy. In a solid match. Now we've got Drew talking about Scotland.
Yeah.
For Clash of the Castle. Building up to Clash of the Castle.
Is
that the next show after this?
Yes, it is. And after that is Money in the Bank, and then it's SummerSlam. Correct in the comments. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it's Clash at the Castle, Money in the Bank, SummerSlam.
Lou says somewhere in that crowd there's a hating ass mofo thinking to himself, I can take them all.
There usually is, isn't there?
So is CM Punk going to be back for Clash in the Castle? No.
No.
So we don't get that. So who's Drew? Drew's going to be facing who at Clash of the Castle?
He's
Do we know yet?
Yeah, Damian Priest.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I forgot.
But I'm not going to say CM Punk won't be there and cost Drew the match.
Yes.
I can tell you that CM Punk's not going to be booked for a match.
Hold on for 1 sec. I'll be right back.
All right. I just don't know, like, what the plan is. I can infer as to what I think the plan might be, but I can't know what it is. So we got Gunther versus Randy. That's going to decide a lot. Because, like, if Randy wins, that leaves the Raw side pretty open. But if Gunther wins, that means Gunther is challenging for the title at SummerSlam. If Gunther is challenging for the title at SummerSlam, is Damian Priest still going to be champion by then? Is Damian about to lose to Drew? If Drew wins, where does CM Punk come into play at? Like, because, like, it feels like CM Punk versus Drew should be the SummerSlam match. Not, I mean, unless Punk's more injured than I think he is, because I would assume he'd be back by SummerSlam.
I don't. What's? I didn't even. I'm not even sure what the injury was.
Uh,
You know.
they said it on Raw. I forget what it is now.
Byron's talking to Logan Paul right now backstage. What match do you think opens the show?
I really don't know.
I assume Cody Logan will be the main event.
Oh, it's the world title, yeah. They might start it off with the women's Queen of the Ring.
I belong in this ring, and most importantly, Byron, I belong on top.
Yeah, I could see him opening with that. I suppose we could open the show maybe with Sammy versus with the triple threat, I suppose. But you're probably right. Probably Queen of the Ring.
Yeah, I would figure like the Sammy match would be like third to fourth to last.
I mean, I'm just thinking you want to open the show with the big match and then end with a big match. So I'm not sure that Nia versus Lyra, even though it's for Queen of the Ring, is what I would call a big opening match. But I guess we could get Becky versus Liv opening the show, but that's for the women's world title. I assume that's the co-main event.
Who is Bayley facing? She's got a match, right? Is she not on the card tonight?
I don't think so. I'm looking at the match list that Dolores put together here. I'm just looking in our banners. We got the Queen of the Ring, final, King of the Ring final, Becky versus Liv, Sammy, Bronson, Chad for the Intercontinental title, and then Cody versus Logan for the World
Well,
title.
I guess not. No Bailey.
And then the King of the Ring, Randy versus Gunther for the King of the Ring. So I don't have Bailey on here.
Okay, so say Gunther wins. Who do you think Gunther would face at SummerSlam? Do you think Damian Priest would still be the champion?
No, because I have a feeling that Drew's going to beat Damian Priest at Clash of the Castle.
Yeah, I have that feeling.
I feel a little bad for Damian Priest because it almost feels like he's just kind of almost a transitional champion or just kind of a whatever short-term guy. But I do think that Drew's going to win at Clash of the Castle. I think it's a big moment for Drew, and I think that they're going to give it to him. So maybe Gunther Drew at SummerSlam. That could be fun.
And then CM Punk costs them.
Yeah, I could
Gunther
see
wins,
that.
becomes champion, defends at Bash in Berlin.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, that works. And then you have the ongoing feud between Drew and CM Punk that doesn't necessarily have to revolve around the title. And Gunther can hold that title. I mean, I don't see Gunther and Cody for that title anytime. I think Gunther's going to be hovering around that other title. Assuming, I mean, Cody beats Logan here, and then he's got to have a competitor for Clash of the Castle. Who's he defended against the Clash of the Castle? Who's Cody's next opponent? They don't have anybody built up behind Logan Paul at this point. They really don't have anybody that's. I mean, there's people I wouldn't mind seeing, and again, I often forget the draft and who's on which show, so bear with me while I say a few names because I don't even know that they're viable names. But I mean, I could see Cody versus KO at some point. That might be fun. I could see him having to defend against somebody in the bloodline, a Solo or Tomatonga maybe at some point.
Bobby, Randy.
I was going to say Bobby Lashley, even Randy Orton.
LA Knight, yeah.
LA Knight would be fun. I wouldn't mind seeing LA Knight actually beat Cody for the title, just because I think LA Knight needs a title run at some point. And I'd love to see him with the big title.
I agree, but it's going to be a Money in the Bank cash in.
Yeah, I mean, I love LA Knight, but I'm not positive that I necessarily think at this moment he's on Cody's level. I mean, I don't know. I'm torn. I'm kind of torn. Like, he's right at that very, very top. He's better than a mid-card guy, but I don't know that he's a main event stalwart yet, like someone that just always belongs in the main event picture yet. I think the jury's still a little out. But yeah, I agree with you. I do think he'll be the next Money in the Bank winner. Which should be interesting.
I called that shit over a year ago.
Depending on
what
they do with Sammy,
was not going to win the 2023 Money in the Bank, but he'll win the 2024 Money in the Bank. I said that before the 2023 Money in the Bank.
Depending on what they end up doing with Sammy and the Intercontinental Championship, I could see him getting back in to that mix for the main title with the Drew or Gunther, Damian Priest, depending on who's champion at that point. Maybe even Sammy versus Cody. I mean, they're both baby faces, so it might be a little weird. But there you go. See, that's what I was saying. I can't always keep straight who's on what show. So, and they're both faces, so it might be a little weird anyhow. But although, let me rephrase that. Cody's a delusional heel. He's not actually a face per CM. So CM still says he's a heel. I don't care what anybody says. He's a delusional babyface.
Like all the feuds that Roman had as champion, like my favorite might have been LA Knight. Like that was good. And the jabs that they had to each other on the microphone, like
Yeah. I believe that Roman's two best matches during his title reign were his match against Jay and his match against Sami Zayn.
that one time where Roman made it halfway to the ring, and then LA Knight's music hits. LA Knight does his whole entrance before Roman even touches the ring steps. That made me laugh. Like, and you still didn't even make it down to the ring.
All right, we are live for the main card.
LA Knight sitting at the head of the table, and the look on Roman's face, just like, what is this dude doing? That's
right. No, LA Knight is definitely A+ main event, top of the tier on the microphone. And he's almost there in the ring. I mean, he's really good in the ring too. I mean, I don't know. So we obviously didn't do Friday Night Fights last night, but did you watch SmackDown?
This morning when I woke up.
Was it a good show? Because I haven't watched it yet. So
it was fine. I was tired, so I spaced out for a bit of it.
I like Lyra Valkyria, and I think she's got a bright future, but I'm going to be a little irritated if Nia Jax doesn't win. One, I'm a Nia Jax fan. Two, I think she has earned it. I don't think she gets enough. I know she's had a history of being dangerous in the ring, but I don't think she gets enough accolades for how good she is.
I think there's only, like, if it's not Lyra at SummerSlam, the only other person that makes sense to me is Charlotte. Is Charlotte coming back soon?
I have no idea.
Because, like, if it's not Lyra, like, your only other option to face off against Becky or Liv is Charlotte if you are going to bring Charlotte to a return at SummerSlam.
Right.
I assume Rhea won't be back by then, but I could be wrong. Maybe Rhea's back by SummerSlam.
Yeah, I have no idea
Rhea
when
works too.
Yeah, I have no idea when Rhea or Charlotte is coming back.
But, like, there's stuff you can do on SmackDown if it's not Nia. Like, you have other options there. Raw, you really don't unless somebody comes back.
Right. This is what it's all about.
Like, rather than SummerSlam, like, you might want to do Lyra, like, next month, Clash at the Castle.
Yeah.
Like, why wait? Yeah, let Nia win, but let Lyra get her title shot sooner.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now that I think about it that way, like, yeah, sure. Let Nia win.
I mean, I don't think they're ever going to give Nia a big belt and a huge title run. So, or again, any kind of, so Queen of the Ring is a good spot for her.
Although Queen Valkyria has a nice ring to it.
We are live in Jeddah for Saudi blood money.
Per Gable.
Oh.
I don't know how to feel about that sign.
King Gable?
No, Perk.
Oh, Perk Gable.
You know, like Perk Angle?
Yeah, Perk Gable. Yeah, no, I got it. I'm not sure that I believe it. Oh. Becky Lynch is coming out. She's the first woman down the ramp. Does that mean we're actually getting Becky versus Liv to open the show?
I'm guessing.
She's not really wearing wrestling gear at the moment, but okay.
That's probably wrestling gear for her.
I'm sure she'll take most of it off.
No.
So we're opening the show with Becky versus Liv for the women's title.
I don't know if I'd say she'd take most of it off because, like, you got to be fully clothed.
So like I asked before, I'll ask again here. What percentage do you give Liv Morgan of beating Becky for the title here?
30?
I think that's fair. I think she has a viable chance. I mean, 30% is questionable about how viable that actually is, but I maybe have to get to 50 to be a truly viable chance. But I do think that she has some opportunities here. I mean, I don't think she's at 0%. I'm not sure this is a foregone conclusion. Liv Morgan is, whether you like her or not, she's over at the moment for the most part. People do. I mean, she's kind of on a run at the moment. So it wouldn't surprise me to see them try to capitalize on that momentum. And WWE seems to really like her. I don't know if they like her just because Alexa Bliss isn't around at the moment, and she's kind of another version of Alexa Bliss for all intents and purposes, or if they really like Liv Morgan for Liv Morgan. But it wouldn't surprise me to see them put the belt on her. I do think that Becky's, probably, a level above her as far as wrestling goes, and Becky shouldn't be losing to Liv Morgan, but it wouldn't surprise me if Liv does win here. I'm picking Becky, but...
And Liv versus Lyra also worked storyline-wise.
Yeah.
And Liv wants to be champion for when Rhea finally comes back.
I do think that Liv does need to be champion when Rhea comes back. I'm not sure exactly how you get there from here or all the intricate little parts to play into there, but I do think that that's an important part of the story because I do think that Rhea should be beating Liv for that title when she comes back.
But you could do it by Liv winning Money in the Bank. Again.
Yeah.
Again. Not second time.
Yeah.
Like, she beat Ronda Rousey. She could be back.
I mean, they're going through right now. I mean, all the, she had a great run in the Battle Royal. She did good in the Elimination Chamber. I mean, she's had a good showing. She's been on a run. I mean, she's, for all intents and purposes, she's as hot as maybe she's ever been right now. So, as far as, for her career. So if you're going to try to strike while the iron's hot, I mean, now's the time. At the same time, Becky's pretty hot too. I mean, at the moment, I don't feel like Becky's really cooled down at all.
Becky's
not enough to where
hot.
she should be. Yeah. She's a little, I mean, she can be kind of roller coaster-ish, but yeah, I mean, right now she's definitely up. I mean,
like, Becky's been hot since like 2017. Like, it's been 7 years.
There is that too. They've cooled her down a couple of times here and there, mostly when she's been injured, I guess, and out. But, I don't know. Anika, I asked Sammy before this match gets started real quick, what percentage do you give Liv Morgan here? Is it 0? You think she has no chance? Or you think she has a little bit of a chance?
Oh, she has a chance. That's why I'm signed. Because she's practicing. I'll give it 45%.
Yeah, that's a pretty high percentage. Yeah, because I'm somewhere between you and Sammy. Sammy was at 30. I'm somewhere between like 30 and 50, somewhere right around there.
Because
I don't know exact number, but
this is the biggest feud since Rhea's out. And so really the
right.
matter of do you want to put the belt on her now or later?
Because they are going to put the belt on her. It's just, is it now or is it later?
I really want to say never, but it's not up to me.
Oh, it's happening, and it's happening this year.
I mean, like I was just saying, I do think that the belt needs to be on Liv Morgan when Rhea comes back, whatever that is. But just because I think Rhea needs that win over Liv to get the title back when she comes back.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know that she has to be Becky here. I don't know that she has to be Becky at all. I don't know when Rhea actually is coming back. So,
and for me, I don't. Okay, things aside for Liv Morgan, I don't think they did a proper job in if they're gonna give her the belt. I don't think they did the right job. Because I don't think this match should have been right now. I think this match should have been held off a little further down and built Liv as midget up before letting her beat Becky.
So,
yeah. Just at the same time, I was just saying to Sammy, I don't know that they've necessarily done it through victories, but I do think she's almost the hottest she's ever been in her career right now. I mean, she had a really good run at the Rumble. She had a good run in the Elimination Chamber. I think she's the hottest she's maybe ever been. So, I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure how much more they're going to heat her up. I mean,
well, oddly enough, I would say 2022, like right
yeah.
when Becky came back and became champion, I think that was probably the hottest she was as well. And she went against Becky and she lost. I had no qualms about it, but they're like, "What is that do with it?" And I don't care. But like,
I mean, I don't think there's ever a problem with Becky winning or being champion because Becky's great. It feels like though, if you're going to strike while the iron's hot, Liv Morgan's hot at the moment, but Becky's hot at the moment too. So I mean, it's kind of a weird dynamic.
Was that 2022?
It was right. It was after Becky beat Bianca SummerSlam. I want to say that was 2022 because they did have fans. It's like 2022, 2023.
Oh, is that the 23-second catastrophe?
That's 2021.
Are you?
That's 2021. 2022 was when Liv won the Money in the Bank and got the title off of Ronda Rousey. That was 2022.
So around that era, so that year of 2021, 2022, I think was the best one. It ended when she got beat by what's her name? Ronda Rousey. So yeah, that year of 2021, 2022 is probably the hottest for me. I think she was.
She got the title off of Ronda, lost the title back to Ronda, and then Ronda lost the title to Charlotte Flair.
Yeah, that summer sucked. So that's what I'm saying. It ended.
Oh, that wasn't summer. That was winter.
No, that was SummerSlam.
When she won the title. It was winter when Charlotte beat Ronda.
No, Charlotte and Ronda when Liv got beaten by Ronda.
That was fall. That was like, when was that?
So when that program happened, I think that's when they pulled Liv off. What I'm saying. What kind of weird spider monkey? I can't.
I love Becky's wearing like a tuxedo essentially.
He's the man.
It's like she's trying to be an Irish gangster a little bit. That's why she had the cute little hat on. It was cute.
Oh, what's that show on Netflix?
What?
What's that movie on Netflix? The real long ass movie about the Irish gangsters?
Gangs of New York?
No, it came out like 2 years ago. It was like
the one where Johnny Depp plays Whitey Bulger.
No.
I'm thinking about the Robert De Niro movie.
I have no.
Yeah. The Departed.
No.
The Irishman.
The Irishman, yeah. That's
The Irishman.
Side note, the Depart was an awesome movie.
The Departed's an all-time classic.
Get ready to freaking down.
Yeah, The Departed's an all-time classic for sure.
Extreme Rules, October 8th. That's when Ronda Rousey took the title off of Liv.
And that's when they cooled her off. I'm sorry, side note. Till this day, I don't want to, if you had not seen The Departed, I don't want to spoil the ending because the ending is the best freaking part. What we do?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But yeah, Liv Morgan had like a solid year and a half of push.
And now again, I mean, she's being pushed a second time.
I mean, maybe it was more like a year of push instead of a year and a half. I might have over exaggerated that a bit. I'm not exactly sure when Liv Morgan had her match against Becky, but I
It
think
had to be after SummerSlam, right?
I think a match that does need to happen is Liv versus Charlotte, though, because she lost to Becky, but then Becky lost to Charlotte, and Charlotte became champion.
Right.
Liv lost to Ronda Rousey, but then Ronda Rousey lost to Charlotte, and Charlotte became women's champion.
Yeah.
So it feels like Liv needs to actually defeat Charlotte for once in her life in order to really be in that upper echelon.
Yeah, that's probably fair. She needs some big wins over some big people to get into that spot. I mean, if she was to win here, that'd be a start. Yeah, if she could beat Charlotte at some point and get, and a couple other big wins, she could be in that. I mean, skill-wise, it's debatable, but push-wise and booking-wise, she could definitely be up there.
Boo! Boo! Yay!
These guys are back and forth. Becky Lynch with a huge clothesline, another clothesline. Becky with a drop kick. Becky's in charge at the moment. Liv in the corner. Oh, Becky with the big forearm in the corner. Exploder suplex. You like Liv's outfit, Anika?
It's cool. Oh, I was thinking about this when I was watching Bianca and Jay. It's remember when we first were doing Shoddy, there was no women, and then the second year it was big t-shirts, and then
Now it's
got a little
tight
bit better,
suits.
and then that elimination chamber, and they were just like, you know what? I want to know who had the light bulb of. They said we had to cover our bodies. They didn't say nothing about how tight it has to be. And then light bulb, and then Rhea and it was Rhea, Liv, and Alexa Bliss. And they were like, y'all may get in trouble, y'all may not, but I'm here for all of it.
Saudi Arabia recently did their first swimsuit fashion show.
Really? I'm interested to see how that went.
A lot of people online were upset, but
what was it like when they say when you say swimsuits? Was arm showing? Was leg showing?
Yes.
Oh, was belly showing?
No.
Okay.
But
that's still progressive. That's still very much so progressive.
Strapless one piece swimsuit.
Oh wow. That's interesting.
So the belly was covered, but it wasn't a bikini. But everything else was showing.
It's out at a close 2 count.
Let me. I can't see Jack. I have a.
Both women down, trying to get to their feet. Who can get up first? Becky in the corner, pulling herself up. Liv is up in the middle of the ring. Liv charges Becky in the corner. Becky moves, kicks Liv in the back. Pin 1, 2. Liv Morgan kicks out at 2.
Side note. Oh, France done count 1, 2, 3 in there. Now everybody want to count 1, 2, 3 in their native language. Now we're just taking stuff from other countries.
Liv with this missile drop kick off the top rope. Rolls over for the pin. 1, 2. Becky kicks out at 2. I felt a little some sort of way about both the fact that the women's tag team championships and that Bianca and Jade are the champions were on the pre-show. I think the belts deserve more, and I think Jade and Bianca definitely deserve more.
I compare it to when, not saying it's good or bad, but I do compare it to Jay White being on the pre-show with the trios titles, where it's just like they wanted one more. I think they heard. Oh, like remember, sorry, all right, say all of your words, Mika. WrestleMania, we were all pissed off that it was a 2-hour pre-show with no freaking matches. And I think at the last minute, someone probably was like, you know what? I don't think we can do that again. Let's at least have one. And they're like, oh, how about a tag team women's match? And it's like, oh, okay, that'll be it. Absent. And so, of course, no stuff and put into it, but yeah.
Anika, I downloaded some pictures off of Google and sent them to you on the Discord of the fashion show. So you can make your own opinion after you look at the Discord.
That was close.
No, you can't do it. You should just give up. Don't try to do it. You don't need to be champion. It's other people. People don't have to be great to be champion.
Becky fighting back.
So Nia Jax can just wear her normal ring gear, right?
She can.
Yeah, but she's pretty dressed most of the time.
Like, I feel like she's normally fully covered.
Yeah, she normally is. The only place that she has any kind of like is the chest area, where sometimes like it might be like lace or kind of whatever, or come down a little bit more. But other than that, everything else is covered up for sure.
And I did love Bianca and Nia Jackson on SmackDown. On SmackDown, I love both of them. Especially, I'm like, and then Bianca had the cute little crown on her braid. I'm like,
Oh no, disarmer! Becky's got the disarmer locked in the middle of the ring. Is Liv gonna tap out?
On the Countdown show, Candice LeRae had little butterflies on her ring gear.
I love these little cute cargo pants. Tap! Oh no!
What's that?
Don't you do it!
Oh, Dominic come to the ringside.
You are not coming back from this! You are not coming back from this, you butthole! Don't you do it! Don't you do it! Don't you do it! Don't you dare do it with your stupid little ugly mustache! Don't you do it! Don't you do it!
I love Anika's energy.
Don't you do it! All right. No!
1, 2. Scott Becky kicks out. Holy shit, I thought it was over there. I thought it was over there.
Don't you betray me.
I thought it was over there. That was close.
Oh, don't you betray. Don't you do it. Judgment, someone else come out. Judgment Day. Save a happy home. Don't do that.
What would Uncle Eddie do?
Uncle Eddie do? Oh, Liv going up the top rope. Becky up, counter. Becky's got Liv. Suplex off the top rope.
Woo! Are both of them okay? Are both of them all right? Goodness gracious, that hurt. Don't you do it! Don't you do it! Huh?
Dominic put the chair in the middle of the ring.
But we don't.
Dominic distracted the referee.
No!
Liv, Liv,
Oh.
use the chair.
No!
Liv, use the chair. Liv's gonna be the new champ. 2. There it is. 1, 2, 3. Liv Morgan, your new WWE Women's Champion.
It looked like you
Thanks
passed
to
it to Becky.
He did pass it to Becky.
No, don't even do that. Don't, because if that was the case, he would have stayed on that ropes until Becky got the freaking finisher. But no, he got off as soon as Liv used the chair. That was not. Ooh!
Why is he trying to help Liv, the person that took out his woman? Clearly, he wants to help Becky take out Liv.
He looks frustrated.
No, oh, y'all are such a man. Y'all are such a man. That's what he wants
See,
you to
look,
do.
We are men.
So when they replay the tape, he can say, "Look, Rhea, I was trying to help."
Oh, here we go.
We are not mares.
Like, number one, why are you even showing up when Liv had her in a freaking arm bar? Huh?
Well, I said they were going to put the title on Liv at some point. She's got to have it for when Rhea comes back. I wonder if this means Rhea's coming back sooner than later. See, even the announcers are saying.
Because
He put
you're
the chair in the ring.
Where's Renee Paquette at? Because y'all are men too. No.
I would assume she's
All
with
right.
her husband, getting ready for
So
Double
the
or
show
Nothing.
opens with a title change. Do you think we have another title change during this show, or do you think this is the only one?
Ooh,
We've seen one title defended on the pre-show. It was already defended in Theory Kane.
Don't try to freaking psych me.
This is going to be the only title change.
Think so? Yeah.
Dear God, why?
Liv Morgan is your new women's champion.
This is gonna suck.
I think that means Rhea's coming back sooner than later. Is Rhea going to be able to make it back for Clash at the Castle next month? No. Dominic doesn't look happy.
That would be way sooner than her expected.
Because he's acting like.
So, Anika, let me ask you, what's the purpose then? So is the purpose that he's ultimately going to leave Rhea for Liv?
Yes!
I mean, why would he? Why?
Because I don't know, but they've been doing a whole lot of little next behind backstage. No, they've been doing a whole lot of next behind little backstage segments for the past couple of weeks on Raw. And then Damian knew that crap because Damian was like, "Hey, you are live good," and then Super Carlito came in talking about before he could even answer. Ooh.
So you think ultimately Dominic leaves Rhea and ends up with Liv?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Rhea don't need me no more. I just better beauty.
Wow. Interesting.
Interesting nothing. You really didn't see that coming? Just better win. Just like your fake real daddy. Showing the freaking episode for Eddie Guerrero. Same thing.
Yeah.
China was getting good, and he didn't need him no more. Then he started being a pain little man, Mitch, and but the title, you betrayed. What? You betrayed Rhea.
That's funny.
Screw that title. You betrayed Rhea.
That's funny. Yeah, I wonder if Rhea's going to be mad at Dom.
Oh. This is gonna suck. No, like
I mean,
no.
I don't want Dom and Liv. I don't like them together, but I'm not going to lie and say that I don't think that the Dom and Rhea storyline doesn't need probably an injection of something to make it a little more interesting too. I mean, they've been doing the same thing for a while now. I'm not saying it's stale, but
Been real subtle,
so to inject Liv Morgan into like a little love triangle thing or something, I can see how that would make it interesting. I mean, I don't like Dom and Liv together, but it would at least make the story a little more interesting.
I was gonna say.
The earliest
All right,
we can
it looks like
expect
we're getting
Rhea
a triple
back
threat next
is
for the
July.
Intercontinental Champion. What?
The earliest we can expect Rhea back is July. That is the most optimistic.
Money in the Bank. Okay.
So that would be SummerSlam then in August, most likely, or
Yeah.
Berlin, Match of Berlin, or Clash or SummerSlam.
When is Money in the Bank? Is that
It's
in July?
July.
Yeah. And Money in the Bank is pretty up there.
That might be a little too soon. Like even being optimistic, that might be a little too soon.
No, I think Liv probably now holds the title until now that you said that, probably SummerSlam, and then we get Rhea and her at SummerSlam in August at some point.
So Nia Jax wins Queen of the Ring. Lyra Valkyria faces off against Liv at Clash at the Castle.
Okay.
Fingers
Liv
crossed.
retains.
Fingers crossed. Charlotte Flair Money in the Bank.
I need what you call it. I need something to happen because okay, putting my bias aside, who can Liv go against besides Becky, and it'll be a red hot feud that you'll be interested in.
The only thing that's being
other
built
than
up right
Rhea,
now is
no.
her and Lyra. That's the only thing
other
being
than
built
Rhea,
up.
nobody. I mean, I don't.
Like, and Lyra's new. I'm no offense. I'm mad. Lyra beat Io. I'm like, ugh. Like, no offense. I don't want Lyra versus. Okay, sorry. But yeah, this is gonna suck.
But like the other match is Charlotte because of the history between the two. Everything else has to be built up from the ground up.
And Charlotte is what you call it. Is on SmackDown. So either
No, she's not.
Yes, she is.
No, she's not. She wasn't drafted. She's a free agent.
So they're calling her free agent. I know she wasn't drafted, but she was on SmackDown before she got hurt. So they're calling her free agent.
Anyone who wasn't drafted is a free agent. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Ugh. Don't like this move, but all right, y'all do y'all.
What about Liv? I mean, now that Liv has the title, I'm just thinking of people that she has some history with. Are we going to see her against Sonya Deville again?
Boo. And she's a bad guy, so double boo.
I'm not necessarily opposed to that. I mean, it is what it is. It feels like a mid-card feud with the world title involved. But
if Charlotte's not available, they're probably going to bring in Natalia for the match.
Boo.
Yeah.
Because it's in Canada.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, I can see her getting a win over Natalia.
Who else is Canadian? Chelsea Green? But Chelsea Green's also a heel, so.
And Chelsea Green's on SmackDown. All right, so we need Liv's a heel, so we need baby faces. We can boo. It's gonna suck.
Yeah, there's not a lot of options out there.
I'm really trying to think. No, boo. Is it boo?
Yeah, I think she has a very quiet run. She'll get a win or two, and she'll hold it until Rhea's back, and then she'll lose it to Rhea.
Chad Gable has made it. They gave him the "You Suck" chant. You know how big that is?
Mm-hmm.
So Sammy noticed that there was a Perk Gable
Yeah, Perk
sign in
Gable.
the crowd, and we didn't like that. The
Is it
implication that he's also on drugs.
No. Oh gosh, that's a
So you
lot.
got Shayna and Zoe, Zelina, Natalia.
These are women on Raw.
That aren't full-blown heels.
Well,
And they're
no,
on Raw that could potentially challenge. Shayna would be okay.
Shayna isn't really a heel like that.
Yeah, she's a tweener. That's why I'm naming her.
I would have liked Shayna, but they're not really hyping her up singly as much.
No.
Like all the other women on her are heels, like Alba Fire.
Yeah.
They can turn them. They haven't been on TV that much to be declared heel.
I mean, you've mentioned several people that I could see her getting wins over in the title run. She'll beat an Alba Fire. She'll beat a,
Zelina Vega,
maybe a
Zoe Stark.
But
a
more
Zoe
so,
Stark or a
but more
on her way to holding it until Rhea's back.
But more so, are we going to be invested? Like, is this going to even matter?
No.
People would be invested in Lyra. People would be invested in Shayna.
Nah.
The crowd in Canada would be invested in Natalia, but like everywhere else in the world, not so much. But in the live crowd,
I debate how invested anyone's going to be in her being champion at all. Let alone, whatever. I mean,
we got Maxine Dupree. We got Ivy Nile. Like Katana Chance and Kaden Carter. Like there's not really like unless you're counting the heel women. There's not a lot of options here.
No, there's not.
Because like you got Asuka, you got Kyrie, you got Io, but like they're all heels. So
right.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, I truly believe I'm standing by this. And I truly believe now that you even said July, I think it's even more ingrained in my head that Rhea's back and takes that title at SummerSlam. And if that's the case, you're not going to have Liv wrestle anyone of quality between now and then. It's going to be 2 or 3 easy opponents until Rhea's back at SummerSlam. She'll have like 3 title defense matches. They'll be easy. It'll be an Alba Fire. It'll be a Zoe Stark. And she'll get wins over them, and then it'll be Rhea, and she'll lose.
I mean, yeah, it could be Alba Fire, but I would imagine that they would pick Lyra for Clash at the Castle.
I mean, I can see that. I guess the question is, do they want to have her lose? I mean, they're pushing Lyra pretty hard, it feels like, and I don't know if they want her to take a loss to Liv Morgan, even if it is for the title, even if it isn't, maybe it won't be the main event spot, especially if Drew's wrestling for the title, but, a semi-main event spot in the title. I mean, I don't know.
But I definitely see Natalia being the match at Money in the Bank.
So yeah, like I said, she'll have a couple matches like that. She'll win, and then she'll lose to Rhea, which I think is right. I mean, I feel like that's right.
Like the biggest match for her is probably Shayna.
Yeah. All right. So this match, who do y'all got? You think Sammy retains, or you think we have a new title?
I think Sammy retains. Listen to this crowd.
You got Sammy retaining?
Yeah.
This crowd will be more upset if Sammy loses than if Cody loses.
Like after showing that full-on video package, oh heck yeah, he's not losing.
It's so nice that they've accepted and welcomed Sammy, everything considered, because of his heritage. That he wasn't welcome into the country for all those years because of where he's from.
Right. I guess maybe it's debatable if the Chad Gable, Jason Jordan, Kurt Angle stuff was he was more popular then, but I feel like it kind of like Liv Morgan for me. This is probably the most Chad Gable's been pushed and is over as far as and it seems like if you don't do something soon with him in a title, you can probably never do it, and that's a shame. So he already didn't get it done against Gunther, which I think he should have. Um, and if he doesn't get it done against Sami Zayn here again, I don't know. I mean, how many more times is he believable, or how many more times are they going to give him that opportunity? So
I'd say that
it's
Gable
kinda
would
like,
have a better chance if he didn't win his match on Monday. Since he won his match on Monday, I think that we could get a rematch at Clash at the Castle, and Gable would have a better chance there.
yeah.
But I think here, right
I mean,
now, Sammy wins. And if Sammy doesn't win, something's wrong.
I always say that these kind of matches are a perfect time to take the title off of someone because the champion doesn't have to lose, right? You can protect Sammy and still take the title off of him and have him have a viable contention for another match, for a singles match for that title, because Chad Gable pins Bronson Reed or something, you know what I mean, and wins the title that way. So Sammy never actually loses the title, and then we get Chad and Sammy at Clash of the Castle or something like that.
So on the flip side, I use that terminology for Chad not to win. Like, let Bronson take the pin, because in my mind, I don't see them coming back if Sammy loses. Like the crowd wise, if Sammy loses, I don't think this crowd is going to be hyped for anything else. And like I said, and then it's three-way. So if you want to do Sammy versus Chad at whatever is coming up afterwards, you can do that. So I would do that.
Which is such a beautiful thing that I didn't expect from the Saudi Arabian crowd.
Yeah. But yeah, and also, yeah, doing it back to back where Dom helps Liv, and then let's say Otis helps Chad. That's too close for comfort. Like, if y'all gonna do that, at least have this
Another match in between.
In between, yeah, like do Queen of the Ring or do King of the Ring. Well, probably Queen of the Ring, and then do this.
Am I not mistaken? A triple threat by definition is no disqualification.
Yeah.
But when does that happen though? Cause I feel like I don't like. Maybe it's just me, but I'm like, yeah, it's a triple threat, but unless you say DQ, it's just that just means three people are in the match. It doesn't mean I can hit you with a chair. I don't feel like that was the rule for the whole time, for the whole entire history of triple threat.
I think you're right. I mean, I don't always remember it being the rule either, but it's been the rule now for a little while.
Yeah. But I remember I'm like, what? Hold up! No.
Yeah, they've definitely had triple threat matches that weren't no DQ.
I thought that was just because they decided not to use chairs, not because they couldn't use chairs.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe I got the impression that it used to be just regular, basically a singles match, but just with three people, not necessarily.
Can you remember a triple threat match that ended in DQ though? Because I can remember ones that didn't use chairs, but I can't remember one that DQ finish.
There's been so many triple threat matches over the history of wrestling that I have no idea. I mean, it could have happened anytime, anywhere. I mean, I have no idea. Main event wise, like on a main event scale, I'm trying to think of one off the top of my head, but I'm horrible at remembering stuff. So I don't know. You guys would have a better chance of remembering it than I would. But on like at a WrestleMania in a three-way or something like that, I can't think of one. But
all right, I'm gonna throw them out, and y'all just tell me. Cause I don't know. I'm just throwing them out. The women's triple threat at Mania, Becky, Ronda, and Charlotte, was their chairs involved?
Well, I'm saying that plenty of triple threat matches didn't have chairs involved, but how many have ended in a DQ? Because I can't remember a single one that's ended in a DQ.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I'd have to go back and look through the history books and stuff to see because I just don't remember. Plus, they, like I said, they've had so many off, triple threat matches. They'll have one on a Raw or on a SmackDown or on a Dynamite or on a Collision or a Ramp. I mean, any one of those could have ended in a DQ at some point, or I just don't remember. I mean, I don't. TNA, Ring of Honor over the years. I mean, somewhere I'm sure someone's ended in a DQ with the thousands upon thousands of triple threat or fatal four ways they've had. I'm sure. Oh, Sammy with the huge 1-2 sunset powerbomb. Bronson Reed got him over.
Big boy.
Right. Sammy and Bronson alone in the ring right now. Sammy in charge. I feel, I don't know, like I kind of put Sammy and Chad in the same box. Like they both have earned the right to be champions and they both are underrated. They both kind of get overlooked a lot. But Sammy has been getting regularly bigger billing over the last year or two, especially when he was involved with the Bloodline.
Yeah.
That it feels like we still haven't quite got that same with Chad. So I want Chad to have that same kind of push and run at some point. So, and I don't know. I mean, if you don't do it here soon, I don't know how much longer. Like, I don't know.
No, I totally get. In my heart of hearts, I want to say when Chad becomes Intercontinental Champion, that's going to be a great run. It's not going to be fast. It's not going to be non-significant. It's going to be great.
Right. I do also have the same kind of feeling when I watch Bronson Reed that I have when I watch other big guys. It's like my suspension of disbelief is it's tougher to get there because he's so much bigger than these guys that I just don't. There's no way he should be losing to Sammy or Chad. 1, 2. Almost there. Almost how I called it, Chad pinning Bronson.
But because Mr. Bronson wanted to do a moonsault, right? But he missed. Yeah. I thought you looked from Ivar. I know. like Ivar, show me how to do it real quick. I just want to see if you do it real quick.
I guess he's injured now too.
Yeah, and that was
him and Eric are both injured.
And that sucks because Ivar was doing great in NXT as a singles person.
So I got a question I want to ask you, Nika, but I'll wait until after the match because I don't want to take away from the match at hand. Because it's not about this match. It's about something different. Sammy asked me a question on the pre-show that I want to ask you and get your opinion on. But I don't want to distract from this match because this match has been good so far.
No worries.
Gable with the ankle lock on Sammy in the middle of the ring. What do you guys think of the ankle lock overall? I think it's a fucking dumb hold. I don't think it looks like it fucking hurts at all. That's my personal opinion. I think it looks like a bad rest hold. But again, I've never had it put on me. I suppose it probably hurts if the right person does it. So
that part.
I feel like it would hurt more if they twisted the other way. That's my thing.
Yeah, they always twist it. Yeah, if you twisted it out.
If you're going to take someone's move, you got to do it better than the other person.
Oh, shit. What do we got going on here? 2 ankle locks.
Kurt Angle always looked credible, especially when he clamped, especially when he leg locked it and clamped it down.
Blue says ankle lock is one of my favorite moves, and it hurts like hell. Almost snapped my little brother's foot off.
Did you twist in or did you twist out? That's the big question. Did you twist in or did you twist out?
Like, yeah, Kurt Angle may look.
Sami Zayn 1, 2. Bronson Reed kicked out. Holy shit.
My move was the crossface.
Wow. Sami Zayn hit Bronson Reed with the Thunder Bomb, and then Bronson Reed kicked out. Holy shit.
That's what I mean. Again, no, like with the crossface, I'd be pissed off if people do it now. I'm like, okay, no offense. But when Chris Benoit was doing it, that's like he was gonna rip his freaking people's heads off. Now they're just it's just like I feel like they're hugging you with your arms together. I'm like, yo, freaking do it harder. This move used to look hurt but now like you don't do jack because y'all don't want to do it right.
I think Bryan Danielson's the only one that does it decently anymore. The label lock is still.
And that's because he inverts the person's freaking arm
right
while he's doing it.
No, I mean it's definitely not the same move, but the worst hands around the face is John Cena's STF, where he puts it, which almost kind of looks like a wannabe cross. It's an STF, but it's like a wannabe crossface around the. It looks terrible. That always
right.
Dude.
So my number 1 is the Go-Go Plata. Number 2 would be the Boston Crab.
What is you said Go-Go Platter? What?
That's the triangle, the Undertaker triangle choke.
Yeah, Hell's Gate.
Oh yeah, that was. I love when Taker did that. Like, oh, that's unexpectedly nice.
I prefer the head and arm triangle lock better than the way Undertaker did it, where he had the guy's chin on his leg and holding the head.
And like,
I prefer when they lock the head and arm in between the legs and squeeze the leg down.
Oh, right.
Oh, Sammy with the huge German. This match has been great.
Like, I had no qualms of how good it was going to be. It was going to be good. It was a matter of how good was it going to be.
There was a UFC fight that ended in a Boston Crab.
That in?
There was a UFC fight that ended in
Boston Crab ended a UFC fight. Yeah.
No way! Holy shit! Chad Gable just fucking suplexed both Bronson Reed and Sami Zayn. Holy smokes!
And I'm pretty sure Sammy was like, I'm in my home country. Y'all better show out or I'll punch y'all in the throat.
This isn't his home country.
Well, his ancestor.
No, it's not.
I'm gonna punch you in the throat. Oh my God! Some of his people are here. Shut up, Sammy! Shut up! No,
and it's because of that he couldn't come to Saudi Arabia for the longest time because Syrians weren't welcome.
But now he is. Shut up! Oh my God!
Yeah, they're letting Syrians in now. It's a beautiful thing. Progress.
Chad Gable sending Sammy outside. Chad Gable telling Otis to do something to Sami Zayn. Otis looks like he doesn't want to get involved. Chad and Otis having some words. Otis doesn't want to do what Chad's telling him to do. Otis is going to try to run it. Oh, shit. Here we go. So this is how Chad's going to lose. Chad's holding Sami Zayn. Otis is going to run in and try and give him. Otis didn't do it. Chad and Otis. Otis doesn't want to help Chad win by cheating. I guess it's not technically cheating. There's no disqualification.
But morally, it's not good.
Well, no. Are we getting the fallout of Alpha Academy here? Gonna get Chad versus Otis?
I don't want it. I don't want it. No,
what I don't want is Otis to cost Chad the title and then be stuck in a feud with Otis. That doesn't interest me at all. Yeah, there we go. I knew that was coming. God damn it. So Chad Gable was holding whatchamacallit up. Haluva kick. 1, 2, 3.
But yeah, it was just 2023 when Saudi Arabia and Syria went back into diplomatic relations. Just a little over a year ago.
Yeah, but they're very close proximity on the map. I mean, they share some ultimately shared ancestry. People that come from that area are all kind of the same ancestry. I kind of understand what you're saying.
You know, I was in Pura. I thought that the Creed brothers were going to come out and help. That's what I thought was going to happen. I'm glad that didn't happen.
So yeah, Gable was holding Sammy up. Otis, he finally talked Otis into doing something. Sammy got out of the way. Otis clothesline Chad Gable, costing him his opportunity. Sammy hit Bronson with the haluva kick and gets the pin on Bronson Reed 1, 2, 3 to retain the Intercontinental Championship. So, and I guess now we're probably going to end up with the fallout of the Alpha Academy. I guess it's probably the end of the Alpha Academy, would be my guess. And we'll get a dumb feud between Otis and Chad Gable that nobody wants.
Yes and no. It's going to be it's going to be very much so emotional because now like all the memories are flooding back when they first got together. That awesome. That no when they were going to get Brandy and Matt Riddle, and they did that stupid behind alpha mathlete thing, and they lost, and then and Chad like he was having a heart attack every time he hit the buzzer, and then then them actually being with KO trying to discredit Elias not being Ezekiel. There's a lot of good memories, and yeah,
I mean, I don't blame KO. Like, never saw the two of them in the same room. Prove them wrong.
But like, yeah, Alpha Academy, it was some very great moments. And then even like Maxine, okay. If it helps both of them propel further into their careers, I will let it happen. But yeah, it's gonna suck. But only it just makes like again, if you're just gonna do this feud and they don't get propelled, like Chad never wins the title or Otis never gets upgraded further into his career, like this would be stupid. But if this helps both of them get better, become better wrestlers, and be better up on the card, fine.
Yeah, I worry a little bit because I feel like Chad's been around now for a minute, and I don't feel like if they haven't done it yet, why would they do it? I mean, he's already been hot enough to do it a few times, i.e., tonight, and they haven't done it. I mean, why? I don't know. It just in the future, I mean, they could warm him up again. They can make him really hot again in the future. I mean, and maybe it'll make sense again. But it just feels like they missed the boat a couple times with him, and I don't know how many times he's going to be in the boat. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
As of right now, he's in the sweet spot. Like my mind just went to Sami Zayn, and Sami Zayn is like before he got into the bloodline, he was on a nice sweet spot. He did the match with the dude from Jackass. He actually loved his conspiracy theorist, and he actually was KO. And then the whole thing where he was trying to escape stuff on SmackDown, he's gonna get
Drew McIntyre, yeah.
And
well, that was a carry on from him and Braun Strowman before that too.
So that's what I'm saying. That was a good 4 or 5 years.
You're also completely forgetting about him being in the Artist Collective with Shinsuke and Cesaro, and he also won the Triple Threat ladder match too with I believe it was AJ Styles and Jeff Hardy.
Yes, and that was a good sweet spot, and I don't think anyone would have thought, him being in the sweet spot would him be the main event of WrestleMania Night 1. I'm not saying Chad will be in the main event of interviews, but I think he is in a good sweet spot where they can put a title on him. He will have TV time. That's the most important thing. That he still gets TV time, and he won't be like degraded. He won't be also an important thing, downgraded to a jobber. Where it's like, oh, I do not believe Chad's gonna win. I still believe Chad's gonna win these matches. Just
He was the main event
Yeah,
of
he just-
Elimination Chamber against Roman Reigns.
I mean, I believe that he can. He just never does. And the question is, how many times does he never win before you start doubting whether he has a chance again?
that's true.
But here I'm going to say something. I'm pissed now. Now I'm actually irate at the moment. They just made an announcement. SummerSlam will be in Minnesota in 2026. 2-night SummerSlam. Are you fucking serious? So now we're gonna have a 2-night WrestleMania and a 2-night SummerSlam. Fuck you, WWE. Fuck you. This better be a one-time thing. If they make SummerSlam 2 nights ongoing, I don't know how much longer I'll watch WWE.
You have to put them fingers to the fans. Cause if they sell out both nights, it's over. It's over.
Yeah.
If both nights sell
yeah.
out, it's over.
I don't hate this because I've been feeling for a while that SummerSlam has been the weakest of their big four pay-per-views. That like some of the other ones like seem to be a little bigger than it most years. Like some years Elimination Chamber seems bigger. Some years Money in the Bank seems bigger. Like SummerSlam has
Look
been
it better. Adding another second bad night is going to make it better.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Hopefully, this means that they're going to put more into it.
Time of year good. You're going to book it 2 nights in a row good.
Like honestly, I think it's really depends on where they've been. Like, okay, this is the opinion of Mika. Why do y'all go to these cold behind places? It's the summertime. Detroit. Now it's freaking Cleveland. Then you're gonna be the freaking Minnesota. What? These are not tourist places to go in the summer.
In the summertime, yeah.
The summertime. I don't want to go on my summer break. I don't want to go to down Cleveland or Detroit. I'm a Prince fan, but I can't hit Prince's house. What the frick am I going to do in freaking Minnesota? Nothing. It's like,
Get some beer and pickles.
no.
You don't like pickles?
Not with beer.
Well, I'm saying that's the two things that Minnesota makes. They make pickles and they make beer. I don't know what else they make. That's what I know.
But like
you're a pickle fan, Sammy.
Oh, I like the Minnesota gherkins.
I don't like beer though. I love a good pickle will do my heart good, but I do not like beer.
Check out if you haven't seen it on YouTube. Check out Pickle Chips and Bong Rips. It's this old guy that he does like I don't know if it's every single day or if he's on every other day. He's on. My wife watches him, but I think almost every day or some periodically every week, a couple times a week, he's got a new little thing. It's a short little thing where he eats some sort of pickle and takes bong rips. He's put pickle juice in his bong. He's always got a different bong on the show. It's interesting. It's funny. You might like it.
I probably will. I'm like, you want that in your mouth like a smoke? I don't smoke. I don't know. I don't feel like that's a good whatever. but back to the crowds. But yeah, but then you compare that to Elimination Chamber, and that's in Germany or Bastion, like, and they're going against like these out of country crowds are kicking our behind. So I'm not sure where we can go, but yeah. So you're comparing France and Germany. No offense, Cleveland and Detroit. I'm like no. Yeah,
right.
That's why Elimination Chamber and Bash of Berlin and Clash of the Castles is gonna feel bigger than SummerSlam. Like y'all gotta change these dates, bro.
I mean, we have 12 pay-per-views a year from WWE, and now we're gonna have two 2-night pay-per-views. Give me a fucking break.
It's not always 12.
Well, it's always at least 10.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Oh guys, I can laugh because I have no plans to go to SummerSlam. unfortunately, like there's no card that's be like, okay, I have to save up, and I have to go, and I have to be there live. At one point in time, I'm like, we were trying to see what it was about, but not anymore. I'm like, I'm fine. I need to see what this is about. It's
The only thing I like about WrestleMania being 2 nights is that I've never been to a WrestleMania ever in my life. And now if I ever go, I have an opportunity to go 2 nights as opposed to just 1 night. So I could potentially go to night 1 or night 2, and I have 2 opportunities as opposed to when it was only 1 night.
Yeah.
But
Now,
I'm probably never going to go anyhow. So.
Yeah. But now I would say if this was back in 2017, I remember either 2017 or 2016, that SummerSlam, and it was the Usos versus New Day on the pre-match card. I think the year after that, that's what y'all should have asked yourselves if we do 2 nights, because I'm like, y'all seriously put the Usos and New Day on the pre-show, and y'all thought I'm like that baffled me. I'm like, are y'all serious right now? Like that's what y'all should have said. Let's see if we can do 2 nights. Not now. All right, Queen of the Ring.
Queen of the Ring. All right, who do you think gets the win here? Who you got?
I don't know.
I'm going Nia Jax.
I would love for her to be Nia Jax. I think she deserves it. Ever since she got back, her matches have been significantly better. And it's like, what the freak, bruh? But in my mind, I have Gunther winning King of the Ring. And if you're gonna do that, I don't think 2 heels should win.
I see what you're saying.
That's why I'm going with Lyra. Although if I had to pick, I would have Randy win and then have Nia Jax win here.
Right. Interesting. Well, I guess we'll find out. I'm going Nia Jax. Sammy, who you got, Nia or Lyra?
I don't know. I could definitely see it go either way. So I want to talk about pay-per-views real quick. So WWE has 10 this year.
Okay.
AEW has 9.
Sure.
I think that's a good number, thereabouts, for both companies.
Terrible number.
AEW, I think, should lay off of because I think they're pushed the limit. I'm sorry. I'll have to do my Power Rangers talk. So I'm like, that's too right.
So Revolution, Dynasty, Double or Nothing, Forbidden Door, All In, All Out, Wrestle Dream, Full Gear, World's End.
Way too many.
If I honestly and unfortunately, if the numbers aren't correct for Forbidden Door, that might be the one that has to go.
See, that's the one that I like the best out of the ones. I think you keep the big 4: Revolution, Double or Nothing, All In, and Full Gear. I guess is the other 4. There's another big, whatever the big 4 one. There was another big 4 when they first started. All In and All Out that was the 4th. Okay, anyhow. And then you keep, Forbidden Door or Wrestle Dream, and that's it. 4 or 5 is a sweet number.
I say Forbidden Door because no offense, who's at New Japan and those matches are going to be worth paying $50 for as of right now.
That's so you want them to take away Washington? No, not Washington. You want them to take away New York and St. Louis.
Come on, me or
ALW? Meaning what?
World's End, the one around New Year's.
It's always going to be in New York.
I believe that that's what they're going to be doing for those four for Wrestle Dream.
Sure. I mean,
World
if
Fame.
you're not going to move them, I don't care. I don't care where they are. It makes no difference to me where they are. And it's dumb that you're keeping them in one spot anyhow. One of the things about wrestling pay-per-views is that you move them around anyhow. So why are they just staying in the same fucking location forever anyhow?
Well, they do that with Double or Nothing, with Las Vegas. They do it
Yeah,
with
it's dumb.
They do it with All Out in Chicago.
I get the not.
Yeah,
I get.
And it's dumb.
I get a little bit because, like, if you know where it's gonna be, you can save up. It's like, all right, this is how much money it's gonna get from here to here. This is probably.
But so like it's never going to come to you.
What?
Dynamite will.
I mean, they've got these places already set, so I mean, it's never coming to me. So fuck it, I guess. What difference does it make?
Wrestle
Right?
Dream comes to you.
I understand that, but it wasn't before.
Yeah.
I mean, they've only had Wrestle Dream for one fucking year.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like this year it's going to be in Tacoma, which is not the same place as Seattle. And who knows where it'll be next year, even if they do it again. So I get maybe one pay-per-view close to me, which is fine. I mean, I'm not going anyhow, so it doesn't matter. I'm not your audience because I'm not going anyhow. But so I'm probably not going. I mean, chances are good I'm probably not going anyhow. But it's still. I mean, why can't? So we'll never get a Full Gear out here or an All In. I mean, why can't we get a Revolution on the West Coast?
Now Revolution moves around, right? I feel like they move around. So that's
Revolution and Full Gear. Those are the two that move around. Everything else pretty well stays where they stay.
I personally don't think any company needs more than 5 pay-per-views a year. I think 4 is the sweet spot, but I'm okay with 5 depending on what it is.
so.
And do you really count All In and All Out as different when they're a week apart?
No, like that, bruh, like, and honestly, if CM Punk didn't get behind Fire the week before, I really doubt how big that for me, how invested I would have been in that review. I was so like, y'all is stupid. This is stupid.
I mean, I feel very similar about All In and All Out being a week apart as I do as having a 2-night WrestleMania or a 2-night SummerSlam. I don't know. It's irritating. It's too much. It's too. It takes away from the other nights. It takes away from the other day, the other show. Most of these guys are having trouble booking one solid pay-per-view. Now you're trying to book 8 or 9. Now you're trying to book 2 nights in a row or 2 weeks in a row. I mean, we can't even get 2 good Dynamites in a row, let alone 2 good pay-per-views in a fucking row.
Tony Khan has stated he wants to do them in the same building. Like, not just the same city, in the same exact building.
What?
For All In, All Out. All in Wembley, and then All Out in the I forget the Chicago arena, but it's the one that they always do in Chicago. I can't think of the name of it.
I mean, again, I mean, it is what it is from a business perspective. Obviously he can do whatever he wants to do. One of the best things about professional wrestling, and one of the the things that made it great in the very beginning was that it moved around. So if you don't want to move around, then don't move around. I mean, it is fine. I mean,
so mathematically, I think each pay-per-view should have 2 months worth of build. So for me, 6 would be probably good for you. It's like an actual story. I can get invested when it pop off. Like, okay, I finally, that's what I want.
what's up, Hassan? Yeah, sorry we weren't here yesterday. Sometimes life plays a part and stuff. So, but we're here now, and happy to have you with us. Happy Memorial Day weekend to you as well, and to everybody out there. And I do. Here's the other thing. Here's the other thing, right? It's compounded. Now, to be fair, we're content creators. We cover everything to a certain extent. But before AEW and after WCW, you had TNA and it was doing its thing. But for the most part, you really only had WWE kind of doing, at the top doing something alone. For many. It was one thing to have 10 or 11 pay-per-views because you were the only real 10 or 11 pay-per-views we actually watched. But now we have 9 from AEW that we watch and 10 from WWE. So now we're talking about 20 pay-per-views a year. We're not just talking about WWE's pay-per-views. We're talking about AEW's also. So now we have 2 companies that have double-digit pay-per-views a year, and we're watching them all. I mean, it's too much.
AEW doesn't have double digit.
9, sorry, almost double digits.
Oh.
Sorry. One away. If you've got 9, motherfucker, you've got 10. I'm sorry. Just the way it is.
But yeah, it's about 7 weeks in between pay-per-views for AEW. Like, I mean,
in fact, we get, and I'll be honest with you, like, from a planning perspective, it makes it, I guess, somewhat easier to have a WWE pay-per-view on Saturday or AEW pay-per-view on Saturday and then vice versa on the next day. But I don't like it when they do them in the same weekend. I'm not happy that King of the Ring and Double or Nothing are today and tomorrow. I mean, it's too much for one weekend. It's too much. I mean, I've got other shit I want to do. And I want to watch both pay-per-views. I mean, and now you're talking about this one had I understand most people don't watch a countdown show, but if you do, if you watch a countdown show, you're talking about a 5 to 6 hour pay-per-view on Saturday, and then we've got 10 matches on the main card plus a pre-show tomorrow for Double or Nothing. That's going to be 5 hours. Now you're talking 10 or 11 hours, potentially 9 to 11 hours this weekend alone in pay-per-views. It's too much. And then we'll do it again in 30 days. And again in 30 days, and again in 30 days, and again in 30 days. Like, I think it takes away from those shows being special. I think when AEW started and it had 4 big pay-per-views, those guys really felt special and unique. You had time to build up between them. 7 weeks doesn't even give you time to really build a good storyline between pay-per-views if you're shifting opponents. I mean, if you're running a storyline that's continual over 3 or 4 pay-per-views, then sure, that's fine. But then that gets boring. If you're trying to have a different storyline and a different set of matches every pay-per-view, 7 weeks isn't enough to do that. Not good, not to make them good, high-quality storylines.
Why you gotta drag her like that?
Why we have bad storylines and matches that don't make sense.
I mean, if you account for the fact that All In, All Out are back-to-back weeks, it's probably more like 9 weeks before pay-per-views because those two are next to each other.
I mean, so even if you're talking 2 months, I mean, 2 months is still... 8 to 8.5 weeks, 2.5 months, I don't think is enough time. I mean, or just barely enough time, You're just barely getting the feud warm, depending on what it is, or, I mean, I don't know.
No.
And I get it. There are some people, don't get me wrong, there are some people that don't watch everything. So for them, maybe it's great. But from a perspective from someone that watches a lot of wrestling, it's a lot of fucking wrestling.
No, I will say this, and I really do agree with you. It's not with the bravado that you're bringing up with, but like, no, I feel like the past 3, mostly AEW. No, I'm not that person, but I have to say it felt like they came real quick, and I'm like, oh, it's happening now. It's happening this weekend. I'm like, dang, it didn't feel like we had and then you compare it to WrestleMania, and they had 2 full months. We had 2 great months of The Rock and this whole Cody beating us.
Sorry not to interrupt you. Nia Jax with the win. And the new queen of the ring, Nia Jax. That makes me very happy. Go ahead. As you were saying, yes.
Now let's rush this for a minute, because this Queen of the Ring was great. And
it was a good tournament, and it was this was a solid final match for sure. These two had a really good match.
Right. Dang. I want to run a little bit. I missed the ending. I know she to sit up.
Watch your replay. Here comes a replay right here.
They say it's called the rack. Because I know when Rikishi used it, I'm like, it was called the rack attack. No, it was called the rock shaker. I went on YouTube. I'm like, I knew Rikishi used this move. What was it called? And it said they called the rump shaker. I'm like, what? That can't be right. I was so serious.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah,
honestly, what it was called when Rikishi did it.
I need Naya to do it. No, I literally, this was like 2 weeks ago, and it's there. I'm like, this cannot be called the rump shaker. But, I need Naya to rename it, but
I mean, it sounds like a Rikishi move.
Oh, it definitely sounds like a Rikishi move.
What again?
She just crushed Lyra's chest. Holy shit.
It's called the Annihilator.
That's the Annihilator.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I feel like she didn't fall, but like
Triple H out here with the crown for Nia Jax.
Okay, that was woo.
That's a big long hug.
Man, dude in the front row looks like Ciampa.
What the fuck is he saying to her?
Well, like, think about it, right? We've been saying, oh, Nia's comeback is great. Oh, Nia's comeback is wonderful. And she didn't have a match at Mania, which really sucked. And then when Rhea got hurt, they didn't give her the belt. So yeah, let her have Queen of the freaking Ring. Don't do that! And then like I was like, Triple H brought a bunch of people back, right? When he became Full Control. This is his greatest success. This is one of the great success of a Triple H. I brought him back, and they freaking killed him. Like, she's been killed. Stop!
I love how me and Blue always had this. Willow's his girl. Willow's my girl. Nia's his girl. Nia's my girl. Like, really, Blue? Quit taking my women.
And let me just say, I'm glad that she changed her hair because the curly hair definitely is crown material. Yes, it
crown
is.
Worthy.
It's crown work. It's a whole ensemble. It's a whole ensemble. The curly hair with the crown. It's a whole ensemble.
So here's a question for you. What do you? I'm trying to think of how to word it. I know what I want to say. I'm just trying to think of how I want to word it. Right, being king or queen of the ring for me, like, as opposed to being a champion or a title holder. Like, where do you think it sits? Is it above or below, say, the Intercontinental Championship for men? Is it even comparable? Is it its own different thing? Where do you see this? How big an accomplishment is this for her?
So, one moment, because now you're being stupid with Kayla. Shit. Of course, we know you.
Me too, Blue. Me too.
Okay, so I'm not gonna say consistently.
You guys talking about pancakes?
Or not.
No.
That's sick better. But yeah, what I was gonna say. Boo, get it, bow, ow. No. So like, I'm not gonna say consistently. This has been a great, tournament, because we know it happened, right? We can pick out our spots on when it really mattered. Austin 316. I love the routine. I didn't watch it, but they were like when Edge won it in 2001, 2003. But I think this one really mattered because they actually put thought into it. Like this, that's why I give them some grace on who won and who lost, because this probably was it's been a long time. Says, all right, we're going to do a tournament. We know who's going to win. How do we get there? Like, this actually had some thought to it. And then, I don't know if you know, but now that they did put some stakes on it Thursday, where like whoever wins, they get a match, they get a title match at SummerSlam. And everyone was like, we telling y'all that for the past how many years? It really wasn't that hard for you to put that on this tournament, and it could have been a thing. So,
Right.
as of right now, in this moment, especially with the women who don't have a mid-card title, this is a great accomplishment for Nia. Okay, I'll put it like, okay. Money in the Bank is maybe, as of right now, one notch above King Queen of the Ring. We have to see how this is going to play out because as of right now, that Money in the Bank briefcase, if giving people titles, but not really great championship runs. So as of right now, it's just a little bit below Money in the Bank. I'll say that.
What about you, Sammy? Where you put being king or queen of the ring as far as, compared to other championships, accomplishment wise?
I put it a notch above Elimination Chamber. But I mean, looking at the Queen of the Ring last time they did it with Zelina Vega, like that was basically freaking speed.
That was great.
What Ricochet just won, because like all those matches were less than 3 minutes.
Like, bruh, that was like definitely comparing those tournaments. Oh my gosh, but yeah,
night and day.
I think it's a big accomplishment. I don't. It's hard for me to gauge, where it ranks as far as how the wrestlers themselves consider it. I'm assuming that even though it's nice to be king or queen of the ring, you'd still rather have a title at some point. I don't necessarily think that it takes the place or satisfies you. Obviously you're a wrestler, you want to hold every title, you want to hold them forever. So probably never satisfied ultimately, but like it's probably not enough to satisfy you for your career to just be king or queen of the ring if that's your only major accomplishment. But at the same time, it's definitely an accomplishment. Like Anika said, when you only have really main titles for the women, and there is really no mid card thing. It's kind of your mid card award, so to a certain extent. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely a big deal, and it's bigger for some people than it is for others. Obviously, you see some stars elevate whatever it is they touch, like Gunther did with the Intercontinental Championship, and some people, don't bring them down. So I mean, we'll just have to see ultimately how Nia is as queen. But
it feels like Triple H gives a shit.
Yeah.
It might be because he used to be King of the Ring.
Right. Yeah.
But it did not feel like Vince gave a shit when they did it the last time.
Yeah. No, I think that's fair.
It felt like somebody came up with the idea and he was like, fine, whatever, do whatever you want.
But now, fast forward to SummerSlam, I'm going to assume Bayley is going to still be champ. Bayley versus Nia. That's a card-worthy match for SummerSlam. And then even going to, let's say Gunther wins. Gunther versus Cody at SummerSlam. That's going to be Cody's main card feud that we've been waiting for since he got the belt. And even if Randy wins, Randy versus Cody. So either way, Cody's going to be set for SummerSlam. That's going to be a main card match that we can give a crap about.
And we must continue counting Tonga pure drop.
Hanging jerseys from the Raptors, Carmel is retired.
Now they're doing a whole survey of the whole team ring.
Sorry, I was distracted for a minute. I had to answer some text messages.
Oh, no,
my phone was going off, and I was like, I'm going to let it go. And then I looked at it. There were like 17 messages. I was like, I guess I better check and see at least what's going on. Nothing crucial or anything, but.
Right. But no. Like I said, they're just reviewing the king of this year's King of the Ring.
Right.
With a very, very good, nice little setup.
I thought this year was a good King of the Ring tournament for the most part. I thought the competitors were all deserved to be in the in the tournament. Randy Orton's a superstar, no doubt about it. Randy Orton has been a superstar for a long time. He's a main event player. I understand why in a tournament, he's in the finals. At the same time, there's other names in this tournament that I think I would have rather seen just because they're a little fresher and a little bit less familiar, a little bit more, you know what I mean? Like guys that could get a chance as opposed to seeing Randy Orton again. But it is what it is. I mean,
Not me. Not me. I vehemently disagree.
What I was gonna say.
And I'm fine with either guy winning.
I think I knew what my problem was with the Queen of the Ring. Comparing both ones. It's like, it's two things. You're trying to get this tournament over again, like making it a big deal, and you're trying to get new faces to get more credibility for their careers. And sometimes, like it's like Queen of the Ring. I didn't want Lowry to be in the main event because in the finals, because I wanted the Queen of the Ring to get over, and I thought either Io versus Bianca or Io versus Nia would have gotten the tournament over. It was a good tournament, but I think it still has to work more to make sure the Queen of the Ring will still matter. And so those are my two conflicting things. Like with the King of the Ring. Same thing. Like we're trying to get this over, but we're already trying to get some fresh. It's not on TV. It's live.
Saudi Arabia, including some WWE.
So see, yeah, no, that's your TV now.
how's that?
Okay.
Yeah, no, it was at the so I've had it at the same volume the whole time, but normally it sits away from me on my desk, but I had it next to me, so it was close to them, so that's why you can hear it.
No, you're fine. Make sure you're on the camera right. That's all.
You can't hear it anymore, right?
No, you're fine.
Okay, yeah, it's back where it was before. So
yeah, those are two. Yeah, the two conflicting things of getting new people over, but also making this tournament worth it again.
Yeah,
and it's kind of hard to do both. It is.
It is.
That's why I'm like. That's why I gave him a little grace of who won and who lost these two tournaments. Because I knew y'all at least thought about it.
And I do think that putting the winner gets a title shot on it makes it that. I agree with you. It makes it that much more. It gives it a higher stake, and not only that, but it makes more sense why a Randy Orton or a Gunther would be in that tournament as opposed to just because neither of them necessarily really benefits from being king. I mean, Gunther hasn't done it, so I guess it is what it is. I mean, he can benefit from it potentially, but like, Randy doesn't need it. And I know he hasn't done it, but he doesn't need it. I don't think he needs to be king of the ring. Like, he's already done enough other stuff in his career that has been way above that. Like, he doesn't need it at this point. Where for Gunther, it's still something that's like a stepping stone. But I do agree that it makes more sense that having a title match on the line for the winner makes more sense to have main event guys in the tournament then.
The only thing to this is that it leads to Randy versus Cody for SummerSlam, which that's like the main event match in WWE right now.
Whose main event match in WWE right now? Yours?
I guess. Is it not your guys's? You guys don't want to see Cody versus Randy?
I mean, I don't mind watching that match, but I wouldn't necessarily say that, like, if I'm sitting and looking at the two rosters or the two tiers of main event or the tier of main event guys, that those are the two biggest that I want to put together. I mean, there's other guys that I don't, but that's just because I'm not a big Cody fan or a big Randy Orton fan. Doesn't mean the match isn't bigger, that it wouldn't be good. It's just from my perspective as someone, we're talking about matches we want to see that I think would be the biggest. But for me, those two don't necessarily at that point. But
what do you want to see?
Let's see. If I was putting the biggest potential match you can put together we're talking no storylines, right? We're just talking a wrestler versus a wrestler. No storylines involved. Just Because, I mean, there's obviously some stuff storyline-wise that could be bigger, right? Because it's emotional, it's all that kind of stuff. Like, KO versus Sammy is always emotional and always good. Jay versus Jimmy is always emotional, is always good. But, like, that doesn't necessarily mean that those are the two matches that I want to see the most either. Like, for me personally, if I'm thinking of superstars that just... I mean, I got to think about it for a minute. Give me a couple minutes, because I got to think about who are the two superstars that I just no storyline involved, no nothing, that I just think I'd want to see the most face each other. Man,
Because
that's tough.
like if that's like a match, like I'm trying to think of what the match.
For me personally, Gunther would be in that match. The question is who his opponent would be.
It's crazy how stuff dies down. We haven't been hot on it, but that Royal Rumble 2023, and it was Gunther and Cody at the last two, and we're all like, okay, so that should happen again. But it's been so long since they interacted, so it's like you got to reheat it up. But that was the thing, where it's like it shouldn't. Like,
this is for their brand, so it would be Gunther versus Damian or Drew.
I wonder that's a clause. I hope no, I don't need that to be a clause, so we're not gonna do that. But no, you said out of everyone, no matter.
I mean, I thought we were just talking about WWE as a whole. I didn't.
I was thinking SummerSlam.
Well, you made it sound like, I don't know. I thought you were just asking like the biggest match WWE could put on in general, in our opinions.
Well, I think Cody's going to be the main event regardless, even if Randy loses this. Like, whoever's facing Cody is going to be in the main event, I think.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's probably true.
It's not Randy. Who's it going to be?
Like, now Randy says Francis is so good because they sing his song. Like, sir, we knew your song. We just didn't think you wanted us to sing it. So don't do that. Don't do us like that. If it makes you feel better, we will sing it for you.
They talk to me. They talk to me.
And he's looking at the crowd, shaking his head, getting ready to get in the ring.
I was a little disappointed when I had watched AEW live because I felt like people would be popping louder than they were.
For what?
Oh, yeah? When you went to AEW live?
Mm-hmm.
What show was it? Was it a pay-per-view or was it a...
Road Rager?
So it was a special Dynamite, right?
The loudest pop was Sting.
Yeah.
Sure. All right, get behind the freaking ring now. Come on.
I'm not sure that I totally understand why AEW doesn't do better numbers. They're doing fine as far as in their demo and in comparison to other stuff that's on at that time. But in comparison to WWE and where they would like to be, I understand why they don't do better. I feel like they have the better roster. They have the better matches on a regular basis. And the booking isn't that bad that it should make that big a difference. I mean, it's weird to me. It's got to be just because so many people have been WWE fans for so long. I think, here's my feeling. I could be totally wrong. I think most AEW fans are also probably WWE fans. There's probably a lot of WWE fans that don't watch AEW at all, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
It's also about, I wonder what their promoting shows, how that looks. Like, are they doing radio stuff? Are they putting it out there? Because, like, I know when it came to I only had 2 weeks to find out they're coming to my city. It's like
For
I need more
AEW.
time than that. For AEW, I'm like, I need more time than that. You don't have
Yeah.
money like that to be like, okay, here's $50. I'm gonna go to this show. No.
Yeah, you have to
Right.
physically go online and look it up.
And who's doing
Yeah,
that?
see that. Well, that's an issue. That's definitely an issue.
I mean, people are doing that, but again, it's preferred if you tell me a night ahead of time. Like I'll get that to WWE. You see that tour commercial date thing like like right after a pay-per-view. Here's the next tour. You see city. Where you at? Come on
And not
through.
everybody has like $70 of disposable income to just go to a Dynamite on a Wednesday night.
Yeah.
Then
No,
I,
I agree.
then I flip it to WWE. Y'all think because we go to y'all, you come to my place and it's a review, I'm coming. No, I need a good roster. I need a good storyline that match her before I put in my money and say, hey, I'm coming. That's what pissed me off about WrestleMania SummerSlam, where it's like, oh, that was a good show, but you did not give me any inkling that it was going to be a good show. That's why I'll go to WrestleMania 31 pissed me off because leading up to that main event sucked. I was so happy that we didn't go until I watched Mania 31, where it's like, oh you little half us. I have no other words to say. How the freak you have a good show, but you gave me no inkling it was gonna be this good? Y'all some bitches. No, you can't do that. That's very, very rude of all of y'all.
Me personally, I feel like head and shoulders, AEW has a better roster. And if they're going ahead up on a night, I'm always going to choose AEW. So I'm not sure. I don't understand how it doesn't do better in the ratings, but I guess it is what it is. I mean, I can't think of any two wrestlers, no brand split involved, over Raw, over SmackDown, over NXT, currently wrestling right now in WWE. Any two guys that I think I would put in a match, or any two women over anybody in AEW. I mean, AEW is
Um,
like the home of dream matches at the moment, and I mean they have all the best, the best wrestlers in my opinion. So
I
it
will
does,
disagree when it comes to the women. You said women. I disagree when it comes to women. I think
yeah.
that WWE has the better women's roster.
When they're healthy, I guess that's probably debatable and arguable. Um,
Like
but yeah,
for the AEW women, there's a couple that I like, but most of them I don't care.
yeah.
What was Brandy doing long behind entrance? I'm like, sir, I have to go to work at 4:30, and you just took like 10 minutes, 10 minutes for your ring and start this match.
Now I'm
What
a
do
fan
y'all
of
got?
Serenity, but there's plenty of people who don't like Serenity. Although they do have one of my favorite women there, Mercedes Monet, but like
I mean, I think when you have, I mean, I think when Jamie Hayter's healthy, Britt Baker's healthy, everybody's healthy, and then you bring in the lady you just named, and you got
Right.
Tony Storm working, and she's working now. I mean, I don't think it's comparable. I think Willow. I mean, I think it's comparable. I mean, WWE has, they might be top heavy better, but after the first, five, I think it's very comparable. I mean,
but
it's
I'd say the same about
arguable
AEW. Like after you take out those first five, like
men wise or women
women
wise.
wise, not men. They have a solid men's roster.
No, I mean, you're probably. I mean, you're probably right. I mean, that could be debatable as well. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's debatable whether the top of the women's class in AEW, depending on who you're talking about, the Tony Storms, the Jimmy Hayters, the Thunder Roses, the Britt
Mhm.
Bakers, whether those equal the Baileys, the Beckys, the Charlotte Flairs, the Oscars. I don't know. That's up for debate.
Bianca Rhea.
But beyond those, I mean, beyond those, 4 or 5, I don't know. I think that if you have a mid card, I think the women's mid card in AEW is better than the women's mid card in WWE. Women, they don't have a mid card in WWE for women. I know that, but I'm saying if you were to gauge them like that. But I mean, it's all debatable, obviously. I mean, But men-wise, they're head and shoulders. AEW's roster is head and shoulders above WWE, and so I don't. It kind of confuses me why they don't get more. Why they don't do better in the ratings. But
I'll say this and I'll get off it. AEW just needs to stop acting like a small company. You're not a small
they need
company.
to stop what?
Stop acting like you're a small company.
Yeah,
You're not a small
I can
company
see that.
anymore. Because what used to piss me off with all the podcasts, most of them like, AEW already has their fan base. They are not going to grow. They're not going to get any newer fans. I'm like, y'all are so wrong. And more so I went against that because I'm living proof of that. If my friend did not have free tickets and did not take me to an AEW show, I don't know if I really would have been that interested in it. But I watched, I fell in love, and honestly, the boys fell in love too. And they're like, when are they coming on TV? I'm like, well, we were going to look for it. So that whole mentality of, oh, if you don't know, then that's on you. Go back and find. No, y'all can do some video. Y'all can do some video packages of why this stuff matters. Y'all can, even if they're coming in from New Japan, treat them as new stars. Because you do have some fans who don't watch New Japan like that and don't know who the frick Okada is or who Jay White is.
No, I agree. I agree with that.
Yeah, y'all done a great job with Okada. I ain't even going front. like, oh my god, I can't stand Okada in the best way possible. But
It feels to me like on paper, especially with the men, if you were to sit down and just, take the two rosters and ask somebody, look at this roster, which is going to be the better one? Obviously, everyone's going to say AEW for the most part, right? I mean, and yet they're consistently not doing better than WWE. And my opinion is that it just really, I think, from my personal opinion, it just has to do with longevity and just tradition and stuff. AEW just hasn't been around long enough yet to WWE's multi-generational at this point, right? Your dad watched it. Your dad's dad may have even watched it, depending on how old you are and how, all that stuff. So it's like, I don't know. That stuff is hard to get past.
Not me. My dad watched NWA and then he watched WCW.
My mom and dad said the same thing. They were NWA people. That's what they said. Yeah. They knew a couple of WWE people, but they were NWA people.
And it's so sad that NWA is in the state that it is.
That's unfortunate because when they came back, 3 or 4 years ago in the incarnation that it was, Nick Aldis was the champion.
Facing off against Cody Rhodes. Yeah.
Like that 80s kind of studio show again. It was great. And it was great for like a year or two. And then, it really fell off. Everyone left. All the big stars left and they went other places. And what
they had LA Knight. They had Ricky Starks. They had Eddie Kingston. They had Thunder Rosa. Like NWA was phenomenal.
Oh. Gunther just getting out of the way of the RKO.
It's going very slow.
So I'm not sure. I asked this, but I don't know if any of you guys. I know that Sammy, you got Orton winning, right?
Sure.
Well, I don't know. I mean, what's your pick? Make your pick.
Do I have to? Because I feel like either guy could win.
Fun. What?
I feel like either guy could win and it would make sense.
Just for the fun of picking someone.
I'll pick Randy because he's my boy.
All right. And who you got?
This feels like ever since he said he was going to be in it, he should win. I'm going with Gunther.
We'll go with Gunther, too.
The thing I will say is that if Randy wins this, he can lose at SummerSlam. If Gunther wins this, he needs to win at SummerSlam.
Oh, yeah. And more so with Gunther, it really is a question of are they going to put that belt with Punk and Drew. I don't think you have to, but I don't think that doesn't answer the question if they are or not.
Well, I will bet money that Gunther will be the world champion and will be main eventing Bash in Berlin. The question is he the challenger or is he the champion?
And against who?
Because let's say Drew wins at Clash at the Castle. Then say Drew loses at SummerSlam to CM Punk. Then we got CM Punk versus Gunther at Bash in Berlin.
Yeah, I can see that. But
I know they lying.
here's the problem with that. Here's the problem with that. From my perspective, I don't like Drew only having the title for a month. If he wins 2 months at Clash of the Castle and then loses it at SummerSlam, that's not really long enough. And if CM Punk beats him for it, first of all, I don't want CM Punk as champion at all. If he beats him for the title, then what? He only holds it for a month until Gunther beats him for it. Gunther's got to win it at Bash in Berlin. So he beats CM Punk, who's only held it for a month. I don't see that happening.
Weeks.
I think what ends up happening, unfortunately, if CM Punk is champion coming out of SummerSlam, that means Gunther loses in Berlin and CM Punk holds that title because you're not going to put it on him for 3 weeks. And I don't like that at all because I think Gunther should be champion and CM Punk doesn't need it. So I don't like the idea of Gunther losing to CM Punk at all for the title, in a title defense at Bash in Berlin.
I have no qualms about CM Punk only holding a championship for a couple weeks.
Well, if he's going to hold it at all, I guess a short period of time is fine. But I don't have any qualms with it. They're not going to do that though. I can't imagine that Triple H is going to put the title on CM Punk for 3 weeks. That doesn't seem reasonable. He's too big a star to do that with. If you're going to put the title on him, you put it on him so that he has a run with it. You don't make him a transitional title. He's CM Punk. I don't think he needs a title at all and shouldn't have it. I'd prefer he was as far away from the title's picture as possible. But if you're going to put him in there, you can't just have him be a side story. He's fucking CM Punk. You've brought him back to be CM Punk and in theory to be one of your biggest names in your company. You're going to have him hold the belt for 3 weeks as a transitional champion? That doesn't seem right.
Looking back from 2010 to 2017, all the titles were changing hands every couple months. That was the norm. I think for one belt to do it, it's not that big of a deal.
I have no problem with moving the belt around as long as it makes sense and people that are getting title opportunities have what seems like a reasonable title run based on their history and kayfabe and what's going on in the storyline and stuff. I'm definitely opposed to long reigns. I hated Roman Reigns' reign. I'm not, I wasn't a huge fan of Gunther necessarily holding the belt forever either, although he did elevate that Intercontinental Championship to another level. So I'm not here for people holding the belt for a year or 2 years. I think at most, 4, 5, 6 months. 6 months is long. So, but 3 weeks, what I'm saying is that CM Punk is too big a name for them to only give him a 3-week run. If it was somebody else, yes, but it's CM Punk. I just don't see them doing that. When they put that belt on CM Punk, it's going to be for several months. I don't think it's going to be Roman Reigns or even, over a year or anything, but it's going to be more than 3 weeks.
That's how long he held the title in AEW.
Look how well that relationship went.
Mm-hmm. It sure. Oof. All right, Punk's out. Put the championship on Mox. All right, we're putting the championship back on Punk. Oh, crap. Punk just caused drama. Put it back on Mox. Put it back on Mox quick. Maybe no one will notice.
I question. I think CM Punk is almost too arrogant to even agree to be champion for only 3 weeks. I don't think he would even agree to do that. like presented with that storyline, he's gonna be like, no, I'm not doing that.
So
Maybe
you
he
think
doesn't have a
he'd
choice. Maybe they
prefer
make him
Drew
do it. I
going
mean,
over him?
but yeah, I don't see that. No,
Drew winning
I'd
at
be surprised.
SummerSlam and then Drew losing at Bash? Holding it for
Yeah,
3 months?
I don't know. I don't know. I'd rather see Drew win the belt at Clash of the Castle, beat CM Punk at SummerSlam, and then lose the belt to Gunther at Bash in Berlin.
I'm fine
And
with that,
CM
yeah.
Punk never holds the belt. What?
Yeah, that works for me. Drew
And then
beats
CM
CM
Punk
Punk at
just never holds the
SummerSlam.
belt. Yeah. And Drew just holds the belt for the next 4 months or whatever, from Clash of the Castle to Bash in Berlin or whatever that
Yeah.
time frame is.
And then I'd have Gunther hold the title until Mania.
Yeah, that probably makes sense.
Nice solid run, a little over half a year.
Yeah. I mean, it all depends on, how he's doing with it. I mean, if he does as good a job with the main title, with the world title as he did with the Intercontinental Championship, if they book him that well and he has that same kind of run where he elevates it, I could see it being on him a little bit longer. I'm still not here for indefinitely or for, multiple years, but, I mean, if he's doing well with it, I mean, leave it on him a little bit longer, Orton pounding the mat, getting ready for the RKO.
Dear God, this match is so freaking slow.
Probably have him lose to like a Seth Rollins is what I'm guessing at Mania.
That's funny. Expand upon that, Anika. Go with that a little bit because I agree with you. Like, these are two main event level superstars. It's the main event of the King of the Ring tournament, and yet the match has been a little slow, right? It's been a little.
I'm dozing, bro. I'm like, oh God, finish this freaking
I
match.
agree. It's almost like their chemistry isn't that great. It's not. It's almost like it doesn't work almost.
At least with Sheamus and Gunther, it's gonna be hard hitting during these slow period paces.
It's reminding me of that 2019 Survivor Series where Gunther was the first person out of the match, just that quick RKO out of nowhere, 1, 2, 3. Gunther's eliminated first.
And everybody was like, "Boo, y'all!" That was
Yeah. No, I mean there are certain guys that just don't have the right chemistry together, don't work well together. And I wonder if this is just a symptom of maybe Orton and Gunther just don't work well together.
going on for freaking almost 20
I mean, I'm
minutes.
sure they get along fine and it's all great. They're just the chemistry, just the way they both work, maybe just doesn't flow right together. They're both very slow. They're both methodical. They're plotting, and now we've got two guys doing it as opposed to only having one guy. Usually it's Gunther or Randy, and their opponent is someone that's higher energy, higher pace. And so you only got one guy, but now you got two guys slowing it way down, being very methodical. And yeah, it makes for kind of a slow, unexciting match.
And I'll say this sound blue in the face. Not every main event has to be 20 freaking minutes. Like you.
Well, there's that too.
I mean, this isn't the main event.
Not every end of the tournament main event big match does not have to be 20 minutes. Give me a good
I agree.
and I'm straight.
I agree.
I don't know because like when I was trying to find a match for the cookout, like all of the matches I was looking at were all over 20 minutes, and it's like, well, can't choose that, can't choose that, can't choose that, can't choose that. Oh, 8-minute match. Okay, I guess I'm going with this one.
Again, it depends on who you were looking for. Like y'all said, reminiscent of Ring of Honor, and I'm like, Ring of Honor, everyone is great, everyone's fast paced, basically, and everyone, there was no 20-minute matches. Under 20-minute matches on Ring of Honor that I was looking at. But again, let's flip it, the Ring of Honor, no one was over 40 as well, or almost hitting 40.
Yeah. I mean, most of the Ring of Honor matches that I was looking at were somewhere between like 20 and 35 minutes. That seemed to be like the sweet spot right there, somewhere 20 to 30, 35 minutes. Most of them about 20, 27 minutes, 28 minutes or so.
And I'm about age too. All the wrestlers were not old as well, and so no offense.
No, they
to
were, this is yeah. Especially, the early Ring of Honors when all those guys were young, yeah.
But
When
the
you get a
thing
young
is,
Bryan Danielson and a young Christopher Daniels, and
most of the WWE guys, like, they don't get into WWE until they're in their mid-30s already.
yeah, yep.
And no, all those over 35-year-olds doing over 20-minute matches. None of them are good.
Yeah, Grayson Waller, we're talking about you.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think,
But hey,
Grayson
Waller, I think you go over a 20-minute match.
At the same time we say that, but yet AEW has guys that do it. You've got the Kenny Omegas, you've got the Bryan Danielsons, you've got guys that are well into their 30s that are still doing 30, 60-minute matches and look great.
The best wrestlers in the world.
Yeah, they're in their early 40s, like Randy Orton.
Randy Orton's not the best wrestler.
I'm saying age-wise, Kenny Omega, Bryan Danielson, they're all around Randy Orton's age.
And to that I say, if you're not doing what Danielson and Kenny Omega does in their matches, don't go over 20 minutes.
I know. I agree.
If you're not doing one-winged angels and freaking knees to the face all willy-nilly and just running up it and topes Philistinas, then no. Take your old back behind and do it under 15-minute match.
It's not for a world title, but when you look at the WWE roster right now, the men's roster, this match, Randy Orton versus Gunther, name-wise, is one of the bigger matches you can put on between two really big names. And I don't think it's been very good so far.
And it feels like it's not, like, when is it over? It's just so freaking long.
Yeah, no, and that's an indictment of the fact that it's not very good, because if it was good, we wouldn't be worried about how long it's been. The fact that it feels long indicates that it hasn't been a very good match.
Okay, no offense.
There's the RKO.
Oh, wait, you're ahead of me? I have Gunther doing a crab leg, a Boston crab.
Yeah, I'm a little ahead of you, I guess, because Randy just hit an RKO that Gunther didn't take too well. And then...
Am I ahead of you?
Ooh.
Nope, because the match is over on my end.
Oh,
over on my end.
What the frick is my thing doing?
It just ended on my end.
All right, so this changes
We'll wait till you get there. We'll wait till you get there.
Now the RKO. Okay. And now he's
Gunther didn't take that RKO very well.
He kicked out. What the frick? Like, why did he get out? And then a backslide. Gunther.
So Gunther gets the win. I mean, which I'm happy with, because like I said, I don't need to see Randy Orton as King of the Ring. I know he hasn't been King of the Ring, but he's been there, done that as far as accomplishing everything he needs to accomplish in WWE. This is still a stepping stone for Gunther, so I like it here. Plus, it gives Gunther a match, title shot at SummerSlam. So,
all right, so it's not going to be unless Drew loses next month.
But here's the thing. I think Drew should lose. If we're doing SummerSlam for the title, I would prefer Gunther versus Damian Priest.
Yeah.
If CM Punk is not ready, then I would prefer Gunther versus Damian Priest. I was thinking maybe Drew versus Gunther. That would be all right as well.
Ivar had an interview the other day, and he was talking about how he trained all these like big name wrestlers like over a decade ago. That basically anybody who came up in the New England area, like all got trained by him. Like like he wasn't saying he was the main trainer, but he'd be like one of 5 people who would be training everyone who was coming through.
Sure.
So like Mercedes Monet, and the list goes on.
All right, so let's. Cause now I don't want to rush, but what else is on the card? Cause I got it.
We got one more match.
One more match. Okay, cool.
The main event: Cody versus Logan Paul. At least per the card. I mean, that's all they had.
I'm trying to think. Like going. What you call it? On the, cause it was gonna be the SmackDown side. Who on the SmackDown side would have made this match more interesting besides Randy?
LA Knight, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, clearly you need someone who has a quicker pace to the match. That match suffered from having 2 guys that work very slow.
Yeah.
You need someone else that works at a higher pace with either of them to make that match better.
Yeah.
They had Carmelo. Okay. I was like, they had Carmelo Hayes, but with people find that believable that Carmelo was going to beat Gunther.
No, probably not. No. I mean, again,
AJ Styles.
Unfortunately, you're kind of a victim of who you put in the tournament, because once you put a Randy Orton in a tournament, he's so good that he's going to probably win, or most likely be one of the top people finishing and with the better chance of winning the tournament. So you can't just have him go out in the first round usually. I mean, you could flukishly once, but not over and over again. I mean, more often than not, he's going to come out at the top of the pile. So, like, this match kind of has to happen, but at the same time, it just wasn't good.
But the best match you would have gotten would have been Randy versus Jay.
Yeah. Which that would have been. I mean, that I think would have been better than this one was, just because Jay is so high octane, and it would have been, such a counter and contrast to Randy.
Jay's a perfect matchup for Randy.
Yeah. Or Gunther, for that matter. I mean, Jay.
Well, we got that in the semifinal.
Yeah.
And it was a great semifinal. I think it was. I'd say that was the best match of the entire tournament.
No.
What do you think was?
You think Jay versus Gunther was the best one?
Yeah.
No. Gunther.
Main event of Raw.
No. I think. What? All right, real quick, because if this dude don't put it on his head, why don't you put a crown on your head? Gunther's.
That's what it's going to do.
He's not gonna put it on his head. It was so weird and stupid. No, because like Nia did the whole, she knelt and it was on her head. It looked fabulous. Like, really, you don't want to put on your head, you butt. Okay, sorry. No, I think Sheamus versus Gunther, that was the match to beat.
The first match.
The first match.
And the rest of the tournament was downhill from there.
That's downhill from there, but that was the match to beat. Now I will give
and no one beat it.
I'm trying to think. The closest right now, I would say is Ilya versus Jay. I'm not sure if that beat it. Maybe it tied it.
And that was also a first round match.
Nope, that was round 2.
Oh, was it? Oh yeah, because Ilya beat Ricochet.
So, and Ilya versus Ricochet. So it's like I don't think to say, I feel like
Ilya versus Randy would have been a good match too.
Yeah, I feel like Ilya would have tried to get stuff out of Randy that he couldn't. That's just me. But yeah, those two were the great of the tournament. I'm not saying that Jay versus Gunther wasn't good. It was good, but I also think that they needed like 5 more minutes. Like the ending was a little bit.
I do think you have a little bit of an issue with the tournament when the final match is not the best match of the tournament. In theory, the final match should be the best match of the tournament. and it wasn't in this situation. So that's a little bit of a problem.
But I felt like the Raw side was definitely better than the SmackDown side
yeah.
for the tournament.
And unfortunately, as soon as we heard Ilya and Gunther, even though none of them paying attention, they're like, "Oh, that's the finals." Wait, they're on the same side. Oh, that boo. But I think everyone was like, "That should be the finals." Don't know. Brackets be damned. That should be the finals. And they were like, "Oh, they're the same. They're the same bracket. That can be the finals."
And Ilya lost to Jay, so it wasn't even in the semifinal.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's some interesting booking of the brackets, right? Putting some people on the same side as others, and I mean, I don't know.
At the very least, I would have booked them on the same side, so it could have been the quarterfinals, so they could at least face each other. But to have them not face each other at all through the whole tournament, that's
why I'm saying giving them grace, because picking out when people are going to happen and then you do the draft, that's a whole mind game that I have no capacity for.
I love drafting.
But drafting and doing a tournament, like, okay, we're going to draft these people to each team and then have to do a tournament afterwards. I will say this: if you would have given me Gunther versus Jay and then gave me Ilya versus Gunther, I would have been okay with that. Because, like I said, Gunther versus Jay didn't suck, but it wasn't a semi-finals match. It was a quarter-finals match. Like, flip it, and I would have been happy.
Big problem I have when I play general manager mode for 2K is I love drafting the roster, and then I end up getting bored and I just want to start over and draft again.
Wait, hold up. What did you just say?
You said they were getting Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre Clash at the Castle on June 15th for the title.
Oh, he made it official.
He made it official.
Okay, got it. We all knew that.
But we are all assuming that Drew's losing it because Gunther won.
I mean, they have the perfect way to lose, though.
But they're not going to make Drew champion here and have him lose it in 2 months, right?
Yeah, no. CM Punk, get your butt to Scotland and cost Drew one last time. That's the best time. Yes, I'm here for the petty. You can't just stop at 2 times being petty. If you start the petty, you have to continue the petty until the one-on-one match.
If you're not going to have Drew win at Clash of the Castle, the only way it makes sense is if CM Punk costs him the win.
Yeah.
If there's no CM Punk, Drew has to win in Scotland and take that title. Now, that puts in jeopardy what happens at SummerSlam. Then we're going to have a question between whether Drew beats Gunther at SummerSlam or not. They could potentially put off.
But that's what we're saying.
Or whether
he wouldn't win at Clash of the Castle, so he wouldn't be champion, so Gunther wouldn't face him.
It will be Gunther versus Damian Priest, which
but that's what I'm saying. If Drew wins at Clash of the Castle, then it's up in the air. I mean, I don't know. 2 months later, I don't know that. I mean, I think it makes it less like if it's Gunther and Priest at SummerSlam, Gunther wins. If it's Drew and Gunther at SummerSlam, I think it's a little more up in the air because I'm not sure that Drew had just won the title. He's on the run. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think they think of Drew maybe as a little bit bigger star than Damian Priest overall in the scheme of things. So him holding the title a little bit longer. And so I think it makes Gunther winning at SummerSlam a little bit more up in the air. But me personally, I'd rather see Drew and Gunther at SummerSlam than Damian Priest and Gunther at SummerSlam.
I have it in my head that they will be doing Drew versus CM Punk. So,
yeah.
Like, how long are you gonna plan to stall on?
I mean, it all just depends, I guess, on when CM Punk is actually ready to come back. I've kind of been assuming that with as much as they've been pushing this story between Drew and CM Punk showing up when he's injured, that he's not going to be out that long. Otherwise, they would wait longer and then warm it up when he's closer to coming back. But at the same time, I mean, I guess they could just string it out longer. I mean, I don't know. I mean,
Like Rhea's fully getting time off.
right.
They're not calling her back in for angles of beating somebody up.
She hasn't done nothing since leaving on the Raw after SmackDown or the Raw after WrestleMania.
Now, granted, try to compare both situations. Rhea just got hurt. Was CM Punk doing stuff right after Royal Rumble? I don't think so. Right, maybe I'm wrong. Like was he on TV? Like
He was
I don't
cutting
remember.
promos against Drew.
He was off, I think, for like a couple weeks, and then he was right back on with promos against Drew and stuff. The promos, the stuff with Drew's been going on now basically since WrestleMania. I mean, ongoing since WrestleMania. I mean,
They've been going at it since before the Royal Rumble.
Oh, there's that too. I mean,
like it's basically like been ongoing since Survivor Series when CM Punk came in.
No doubt.
But I'm saying after he tore his titty.
Right.
Well, he didn't tear his titty.
He tore his titty.
No, that's the bicep that would cause that. He tore the tricep, which is the back end, so it's like shoulder.
Tricep. Aww. I seen titty. Sorry. So it was a tricep.
Well, pectoral is the actual titty. But like if you tear your bicep, like it'll stretch out into this area a bit.
Like after Royal Rumble, he said he got hurt. And then that's when Drew came out and said, I pray for this, you Punk. And then I want to say it was a good 3 to 4 weeks before we actually saw him do something again with Damian Priest, like on TV. So comparing both things, are they showing? How are you gonna show Bridgerton on Peacock? I'm sorry, focus. So now they're going to Rhea. She got hurt. It was in April. Yeah, so she got until I'll say this. She had until June to do something. And if not till June, we know like, okay, she's hurt. She's not doing anything. Well, she's not ready to do anything anytime soon. She's not doing anything in June. I hear someone's television.
So we've done an AEW draft, and we've done a WWE draft. Should the next draft be anybody from any company that isn't those two?
Oh no, I'll be right back.
Should it be anybody from any company, including those two?
I say let's put the two together. Because no offense, I do not have the knowledge of New Japan or Stardom to have just them.
There's also TNA and AAA and NWA and GCW and MLW.
Keep saying stuff. I know. I still don't know the people. TNA, yes, but not enough for it to be a full-on 5-round draft. No. Yeah, now it might be a little stressful, but if you want to do it where it's what you call it, everyone from every company, we can do that. Forbidden Door style. Ooh, Forbidden Door style. That would be interesting.
I just kind of feel like we should save that one for last and maybe do that third one first, where we do include like your Vikingos and your Nightos.
That was a weird camera shot. You have ALW, but yeah.
Your Hammerstones.
I just know Vikingo. So that tells you how much I know about this draft if we're going to do it. All right, here comes Logan Paul. got the grandson from the Cobra Kai dude. Y'all really don't want me to. Y'all really pushing the limits right now. I'm so serious.
Because do we have a plan for this Tuesday?
Not yet.
So I was thinking we would just talk about King of the Ring and Double or Nothing. Just kind of review them.
Perfect.
Just cook out a review show of the two pay-per-views.
I like that. I like that. We've done that before, and usually it works well for us.
Yeah.
Talk about what matches we liked the best, what we liked about them, grade the pay-per-views, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure you tune in tomorrow to Enter the Square Circle, where we will be battling it out to see which woman will win the Royal Rumble and face Becky Lynch next week at the pay-per-view.
And of course, at night we'll have Double or Nothing watch along as well.
Yes. Unfortunately, I don't think there'll be a collision watch along tonight. Unfortunately. I'm not going to be around, unfortunately. And I think CM is down. So.
Okay.
And you have to go to work, and so you won't be around. And Sammy hasn't been feeling well, so figure we probably just not do a collision watch along this week.
That sounds great to me because I am zapped of my energy. As soon as this is over, I'm going to go lay back down.
But the AOW, that's what they're talking about. If you only had one of these Johns instead of 5 this freaking weekend, we had to do SmackDown Collision and then what you call it, for King of the Ring and Double or Nothing. If it was just the 3, we've been fine. But no, I don't want to do all of these at the same weekend. So this
Exactly.
is your fault. Y'all's fault.
Exactly.
I'll have energy again come Double or Nothing.
Yeah, I'm still in debate about whether to start at 4 or 5. I mean, 4 will be the 0 hour, and AEW always has matches on the 0 hour. They're usually decent matches, but
anytime you do that, you're always complaining about how long the show is by the time we reach the main event.
It makes it for such a long show. That extra hour and there's already 10 matches on the main card, so that's going to be probably 4 hours in and of itself. So it's like, now we're talking about 5 hours? So I don't know yet.
So as of right
Still
now,
trying
the
to
0
decide.
hour. As of right now, the 0 hour is Thunder Rosa versus the Virtuosa. That's
that should be a hell of a match too. Yeah. I mean, either way, I'll watch the 0 hour. I mean, if we're not streaming it, I'll be watching it up until we stream it. So either way, I'll get to watch it. But I guess if I'm watching it, it doesn't really make much difference to be streaming. I mean, to be doing StreamYard at the same time. I mean, if you're watching it live, might as well be doing this at the same time. I mean, it's not.
I think we did a good job last time. Like 30 minutes in, like we got all the nice, decent 0 hours. Like we really didn't miss anything. Like, oh, why didn't we come in earlier? No, 30 minutes.
Right. I believe all 3 of us have Cody Rhodes winning this, right? Nobody. I think Logan Paul. I think we all gave him a 0. Oh, you gave him an actual percentage of chance, right? You gave him like 30%, Anika. Or was that somebody else?
No.
Maybe I didn't ask you that. What percentage do you give Logan Paul in this match at all? Me and Sammy said 0.
Goose egg.
Yeah, 0.
I think it should be a fun match.
Yeah.
Logan Paul has fun matches. He's very athletic. He likes to do a lot of high-flying fun stuff. And Cody's a good wrestler.
Do you remember what you wanted to ask me when you were saying you don't want to do it during the match because it was a good match? You remember you were going to ask me?
Yeah. Man.
You asked Sammy, but you said you were going to ask me later.
Not a blank, but I'll remember it. It's on the tip of my tongue. I'll
Okay.
man, what the hell was it?
So ALW,
Yeah.
next draft that we do, I think he's going to need a call off for that one.
Say what?
The next draft that we do,
Yeah.
I think he's going to need to call off for that one.
Okay, why is that?
The next draft will be from any promotion aside from WWE and AEW.
Okay.
So GCW, MLW, NWA, AAA, CMLL, New Japan, NOAH, NJPW, AJPW, DDT,
Interesting.
Stardom,
Interesting.
TJPW, like any of those promotions.
Okay. That could be interesting.
Oh, and TNA.
Here's my only concern is CM's getting ready to be down and off for a while. Dolores doesn't really like to come on, and without Anika, it's going to be me and you doing it, which is fine. But I mean, that's not overly exciting, right? I mean, it is, but it isn't. I mean, I don't, you know. I suppose we could try to get Chase or someone to come on as a guest judge. If it's just me versus you, that might make it a little more exciting. But I mean, in theory, Dolores would be perfect for that. I mean, if we could talk her into coming on, but she needs some time. She's taking some time off right now, anyhow. So even if she's willing to do it, it would have to be a few weeks out from now. So it might be, that might be something to do. I know it's a ways away, but CM said she's planning on coming back and being back in August. We could try to hold off until she's back and Dolores has had some time to heal and maybe get back, do it in a couple months at some point. I mean, I think at some point that's a great idea to do. I just want to figure out how to work it out. So it's not just me versus you. You know what I'm saying? Or it's not just me and you.
That works for me. August, due for my birthday. Well, I mean, not my birthday, but around that time.
Yeah. But I mean, CM, I don't know if she wants to be involved, but she knows enough that she could be involved in that draft as well. And obviously, Dolores is super familiar with all the independent wrestlers. So she'd be great to either have as a judge. She might be great to have as a judge, honestly. And or, drafting or on a team or whatever. So
I think she'd be a great judge.
I agree with that.
See, I already have energy for this match. They're tripping each other over, being all
right
and stuff. Like, look at little Paul trying to be an actual wrestler.
He plays the role pretty well.
How do you feel about making the stipulation of no tag teams?
I like that. I'm always frustrated by tag teams and factions being picked anyhow. So I'm always much more for singles. But do you think we should have a one woman around requirement? You can pick as many. You can pick up to 5 women if you wanted, if it's 5 rounds, but you got to at least pick 1 woman per round, or per. You know what I mean?
We did do the tag team draft before, where we did any and all brands, but we just did that the one time.
Right.
But we've done AEW, WWE. Now we'll do one that's neither, and then we can do another one that's all but solo, not tag team this
time. Blue says, I forgot about the main event. I just got back from making my kids something to eat. It was like, damn, what are they still doing here? Yeah, we're still here. We got one more match.
This is the last one.
Cody versus Logan.
Oh!
I felt like everybody was having some difficulties when we did the tag team one.
Yeah.
like when we were in teams all drafting as a team.
Right.
Wouldn't you agree to that, Anika?
Not difficulties, but like ALW said, kind of pissed off because two people were together, and it's like, boo.
No. I mean, like when you and CM were on a team against me and ALW when we were doing the draft.
Not really. I actually thought that was fun.
Oh, well, I suppose we could do it again sometime then.
If you wanted to. Like, oh gosh. Cody misses.
But I know for me and
Dude,
ALW, me and him were on the Discord of like debating this person, no this person, no this person.
I do think before we do that, whenever we do that draft, somebody needs to work up a basic kind of list of eligible people so that we at least know who is and who isn't per se. I know you say no WWE, no AEW, but with AEW, that's a little bit harder because they do bring some people in for one-offs sometimes. They do have.
Oh,
So,
yeah. Like Vikingo is fine, even though Vikingo has
do they have to
wrestled.
be under contract with AEW,
Yeah.
or is it they haven't had a match in the last
Like
6 months?
Sonata would be fine. Like Sonata wrestled at Forbidden Door, but he's not under contract with AEW, so he's fine.
Or as Okada would not be.
Yeah, Okada would not be because he is signed to AEW.
Right. So I'll speak for myself. I'm not always clear on who's signed to where at any given particular time. So it would help me. Maybe I'll just do it for myself, but it would help me to have a list, a general list of, 25, 30, 40, 50 wrestlers that I know are 100% eligible for that draft and not a potential issue.
Yeah, I mean, the easiest way to do that is go on to all the different pages of all the different promotions: GCW, MLW, TNA, NWA, CMLL, AAA, and then the Japanese promotions. Which can I not name them all again?
I wouldn't, and we say everybody else, but I'd almost be up for limiting it to. I'm not sure which ones we would limit it to, but I don't even know. To be honest with you, I don't know a Noah wrestler or a Tokyo Joshi pro wrestler. So if we limited Japanese to just New Japan, I'd be fine with that.
At least
just
one.
for the Kaito Kiyomiya.
Oh, I was thinking for the TJPW, and I was going to say Maki Ito.
Yeah. So I'd be willing to, Japanese just keeping it to NJPW and or Stardom, I guess. But at the same time, I don't know that many people in CMLL either. But I also Vikingo should be available, but at the same time, like I'm not that. So it is what it is. I don't. There are some of those that I'm not overly familiar with that you mentioned, so that's why I'd probably need a list. But I can make my own list for myself.
But from all those different
It would be.
promotions, we ought to be able to come up with 75 names from all those different promotions.
Yeah, I think it would behoove us to come up with a draft pool of a set of names. Like these are the only, here's 50 or 60, 75 names you can really only pick from those people. Maybe limit it to those people.
Well, then.
Because you got to realize, like, you got to have a judge, right? And a judge has to be able to. What if you pick somebody that the judge has absolutely no idea about? Now, Dolores knows a lot, but she doesn't know every single person. What if you pick somebody that the judge knows nothing about?
Well, that's a risk you take, and I
suppose that's true. I suppose that's true. Cody in the middle of the ring holding his ribs. Logan outside. Cody's about to fly.
I kind of feel like if we don't know somebody, like, I said that backwards. If Dolores doesn't know somebody, we probably won't know them either, so we probably wouldn't pick them to begin with.
Yeah, that might very well be true. I don't know. That might very well be true. He's holding his ribs, and there's something going on. He's had rib problems. Oh, you got Logan Paul drinking water from a water bottle from somebody at ringside. Hey, Cody took the water bottle and hit him with it. And now the fans all mad because, oh, holy shit, who is this?
Wait, you're ahead of me. You're ahead of me. I haven't even got to the water bar part yet.
These are Logan's boys.
Oh yeah, yep, yeah.
They're Logan Paul's boys because now,
And of
what you
course,
call it?
right.
Why did I not put the super bat banner up? I thought I had it up. Cody Rhodes got into it with one of the guys on. Guy pushed him. He pushed Cody back, and then Cody dragged him in, and they started punching each other. And now the other guy handed Jake Paul some brass knuckles. So
your head.
Oh, sorry.
Your head. Cause now, okay, now it's his brass. Yep, just tall brass knuckles. Wait, hold up.
Now Logan Paul and Michael Cole are getting into it because Logan Paul doesn't like. Michael Cole said now he's going to steal this victory.
No, I'm sorry. At some point in time, I'm going to have to rewind this. Michael Cole said you started prenup. What?
Cody over the top rope onto Jake Paul. I mean, Logan Paul. Jake Paul. What? Onto Logan Paul.
Yeah, Logan, you should have signed a prenup.
I'm like, hold up. I don't think a prenup involves.
No, it doesn't. But it doesn't make the statement untrue.
And now, someone spitting on the camera.
Oh. Scoop power slam by Cody.
Oh, gosh.
Cody's in charge.
Oh, Cody they almost missed the corner of that freaking table.
Right.
All right, now you just slid Logan Paul back in the ring. Feet on the mat sling blade.
Right. Cody missed with the Cody cutter. Now he's wearing them out with the rights, his left hands. Bionic elbow. Cody for the pin. 1, 2. Jake or Logan Paul kicks out. Why did you call him Jake? Logan Paul kicks out.
Because you're ready for that Mike Tyson fight.
I am. That's I think July 20th.
Like, why is it so?
I think it said it's going to be on Netflix.
No.
Yeah, I heard that too.
And I heard what you said, Sammy. I finally actually heard it, and I heard it from the mouth, from the person's mouth himself. You are 100% correct. They are apparently going to call the next Snoop Dogg album Missionary. Because the first one, he said, Snoop was in the interview and he was saying, we decided to call this one Missionary to play off the whole Doggy Style from the first one. So the first album, Doggy Style, was, that so long ago. So now this one will be Missionary. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, Sammy, I was right, I guess. I couldn't believe it at first, but. And then I saw somewhere they were calling it Gin and Juice. So I was like, oh, yeah, that makes more sense. But now I heard Snoop in an actual interview himself say they're calling it Missionary. So.
No. All right, figure 4 leg lock.
No one loses to the Cody cutter.
Cody cutter.
Wait, what? Dog it.
Cody cutter. 1, 2. Logan Paul kicks out. That is funny, right? Like, it's a finishing move for other people, but for him, it just kind of sets up the finisher. Nobody really ever actually gets pinned by the Cody cutter.
Come on, guys. Come on. Let's get this done in 10 minutes. Let's go. All right, now it's Cody cutter. And of course, yeah.
Oh,
Oh, I
where did it
remember
count?
reading that Florida changed their laws for divorce and alimony and all that stuff.
Oh yeah.
That if you haven't been married 17 years, then you won't be forced to pay alimony for the rest of your life.
Interesting.
That like it'll be for like a set number of years, but it
Uh-huh.
won't be lifetime payments. Like not until the day you die, like it used
Right.
to be.
I mean, technically, it's only lifetime until they, unless I mean, if they get married again or
Yeah,
have
if
more
they get
money
remarried.
at some point.
But
Oh, no,
but it's still lifetime if you've been married 17 years.
Right. That's an arbitrary number, 17. You couldn't make it 15 or 20. Like, why 17?
I don't know.
An arbitrary number.
Uh, okay, let's say you get married at 18, so 17 years later, you would be 35.
Yeah, that sounds right. Yes,
So maybe that's what they based it upon.
maybe.
So you get divorced at 36, lifetime alimony.
like, what can I do? A Storm Zero, like something. Hey, come on now. Let's speed this up. Get off his rails, come on. Nope, that I was like, come on, keep it in the freaking range.
The, the caption said he bounced his head off the Saudi announce or the Arabic announce table, and I had to think Arabic announce table, and I thought, what the fuck? Oh, that's right. I totally forgot we're in Saudi Arabia.
That's
Does
crazy.
that make sense?
I think it's really groovy though, like having the other announce table stuff. You know, you got the French one, you got the Spanish one, you got the Japanese one. That whatever country you're in, their announce table gets put up next to the
I remember when
English
they
one.
used to have like 15 or 20 at some of the pay-per-views. Like they'd have the
They still
German,
do.
they'd have the Irish. Well, you don't see them like you used to, but
Oh, yeah, but they're around the outer edge where you know the expensive seats and the cheap seats are separated. That barrier
right.
around the wall.
Mhm.
They're all across
Yeah,
the back wall.
they used to introduce every announce table team for a while.
Yeah, but
At
like
every pay-per-view, you get like 10 announce teams introduced.
Trish Stratus and Becky Lynch, when they were having their Falls Count Anywhere match, they wrestled on those tables. They went through like the Portuguese announce table or something. I don't know what language it was. Portuguese was just a guess.
Referee is 8, 9, but Cody says don't count them out.
I wonder what AEW has. I know they have a Spanish announce team, but I don't know what
Yeah, I don't know.
they have others.
Yeah. If they do, they haven't talked about it. They don't show them like WWE does. WWE doesn't show them like they used to. Like now they'll show like if they're in the country, they'll show like the one country they're in. But there was a period of time where every pay-per-view they showed like all 10 or 15, like they would just make their rounds and everyone would say hi in their language. And I was like, well, really?
Hey, come on, Cody, go get him so we can go to. Oh Lord.
So that's definitely a thing I like about WWE is trying to be a worldwide.
The international flair.
Yeah. Like, no matter where you are in the world, no matter what language you speak.
Come on.
That was a good splash.
Oh gosh, you're
I haven't seen it yet. You must be ahead of me. Shit.
just put them on the freaking announce table on my thing.
Holy smokes. You got Cody on the announce table?
I put announce table now, and now Logan.
I'm a little behind Sammy. You're a little behind me.
I'll pause for half a minute.
Oh, I love that camera shot though.
All right, I got
I'll
Logan on the
pause for
top
half a
rope.
minute. Let us know, Anika, when after he finishes doing the splash.
He just did a splash.
All right. Wait 2 seconds and I'm going to turn mine back on.
I'll wait
Couple
5
seconds.
seconds and I'll turn mine back on. 1, 2, 3, 4.
All right, I got mine back on. I got Cody in the middle of the ring and Logan Paul on the top rope.
That had to be a drone because that camera shot was sick.
Well,
Right?
maybe I'll
Logan
pause
with
for
the
another
splash.
5 seconds.
2. Logan Paul hit the 5-star frog splash and Cody kicked out
Oh,
2.
The how you saw? Okay, because now you do the spark plug now. That
Right.
weird.
So I'm still ahead of you.
Me and ALW should be about even though.
By 1. Okay, now. Oh
Logan Paul throwing a hissy fit. Logan Paul back up on his feet. Logan Paul picking Cody up.
God. Wait.
Punch. Punch.
I may have paused it too long. I don't know. I got Cody and Logan in the ring. Logan's in charge. He's got Cody in like a guillotine hold, but not now he's talking to him.
Never got. Okay, never same place. Never same place. Now, yep, punches.
He's punching him in the stomach.
Yep.
I'll pause for 5 more seconds.
Just being petty.
Dolores said, I just think things could be less complicated. It's a lot of rules. My brain about to explode. I think she's talking about the draft.
How so? No tag teams. All singles.
Come on, bro.
Oh, ref bump. Oh, no. Logan splashed the ref in the corner. Cody.
Time for a ref bump. And what's this move Cody trying to put on this freaking screen?
That is the second time he's tried to do it.
Oh, you know, it looks like what Hernandez used to.
Yeah, it's almost like the Gringo Cutter, right?
Yeah.
Well, not Gringo Cutter. Is that the name of it? No, it's that one. Yeah, the Homicide and Hernandez do.
Homicide used to do.
Can't remember what it's called though. Sammy, you know what it's called?
Mm-hmm.
Come on, love.
Nope. Here we go, Logan Paul
Another
with the brass knuckles.
Because you're stupid.
After a low blow, he's got the brass knuckles.
Are you sorry? Are you?
No.
Oh, the announce person's helping.
Yeah, the Arab announcer grabbed his leg. And then look that. Oh,
That's
so
2.
before you get hit. I got 1.
That's 1.
He's going up for number 2.
Number 3.
I got number 2.
Got 2.
All right, let's go. Number 3. There's number 3.
There it is.
1, 2,
Dang the freaking day.
3.
And still.
And still, your undisputed WWE champion Cody Devontae
Gonzalez.
Rhodes,
Ricardo.
the savior, the ender of racism. Now here we go. Here, see, now we get Dolores, right? She's
Oh
made
my
one
God.
comment the whole show, but now here she is with her CODY.
We do not have this.
DY for Cody. Boo! No,
Who's going to be
we all
your
gave
alibi? It's Cody. Cody. It's Cody.
we all gave Logan Paul a 0% chance to win. So, or at least me and Sammy did. I don't know if Nick actually put a number on it, but
Oh, no, I
she might have said 0-2. Yeah. So we knew what the outcome was, but it was a good match for all.
it was
I
a
think
very
it was
event.
it was a good match.
If I wasn't rushing, I would probably have enjoyed it more. But yeah, I gotta go. So let's do this. Let's just in 2 minutes. Let's get this up.
Dolores says Atlanta is where we stay, A-Town down. All right, I believe that is the end of the show. I'm assuming I'm going to wait a second here just to see so we don't
We're gonna get 1 more
get
minute. Yeah.
any other shenanigans or anything going on. But
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Wyatt Six is debuting tonight.
oh, that's what it was. That was the question. Sammy
Oh.
asked me how I felt about if I was excited for the Wyatt Six, and I wanted to ask you if you were excited for the Wyatt Six. Thank you for saying that, Sammy, because it jogged my memory.
So for the Wyatt thing, honestly, just do it. Like I like all the build and teasing. Like just do it now. Just let me see this group on camera and let's see how it's gonna work. Like that's really I'm really ready for that. I wasn't really doing the barcode scans when Bray was doing it. I really wasn't doing it. I think I did it once and I didn't even really do it. I think a podcast did it for me. So yeah, that wasn't really my thing. So yeah, let's
Right.
just put it on camera and I'll determine if it's good or not.
This isn't a pot roast. It's not some smoked ribs. Like y'all been cooking this for a while. Like let's taste the dish already.
Exactly.
All right. So, and I agree. That's kind of where I'm at. I was also saying that separately, none of the people involved for me necessarily moved the needle. So I'm not. That makes me even less excited. Like, but we'll see. I mean, maybe together they'll be fine. I mean, I don't. Who knows? Maybe it'll be exciting, but we'll see.
So
He said, "I'm Cody Rhodes, bitch." Before the crossroads, I'm so proud.
yeah, I heard him say, but I thought he called Logan, so that's what I thought was happening. All right, all right, that's happening.
All right, so let's get out of here. Just real quick, there will not be a collision watch along tonight, so please, you don't have to come back for that tonight. But we will be back tomorrow, starting. Fuck, I guess let's call it 4:30. Let's call it in the middle. 4:30 Pacific time, 7:30 p.m. Eastern time for Double or Nothing. So please join us back for that tomorrow. Until then,
Bye.
peace.